Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, everyone. Life Hunter. I hunt gods for the human race. Chapter 1, The Awakening Ceremony of the Life Hunter. Those guys on Wonkwon Road are hunting for the lives of our human race. What should we do? In Kwanai City, number 1 middle school, Principal Tang Ji's question was very resonant. Some students were filled with righteous indignation and said, anyone who becomes a life hunter and offends our human race will be hurt to their very bones. But students, are you really ready to become a life hunter? Ready. Shu Yan mingled among the students, his eyes darkened. After coming to this world for several years, he already knew what kind of world it was. The spiritual energy revived, the mystery descended, and a brand new space appeared called Yellow Spring. Wonkwon is a supernatural force that cannot be explained by science at present. It exists in reality but is separated from reality. It is like a copy in the game and a passage connecting the other shores of the heavens. Principal Tang Ji's speech continues. All the races in the world invaded our human race through the road to the underworld. They regarded us as prey and regarded us as lambs. The bloody facts tell us that tolerance cannot bring peace. Once tolerance lasts for a long time, it becomes a habit. What is a life hunter? He is a person who awakens his true body, has an extraordinary destiny, can enter the other side of the underworld, and compete with the heavens for his fate. It's a person whose skin is broken but his bones are still alive. The reason why we have the life we have now is because countless senior life hunters of the human race fought for their lives. It was them who built the immortal strong city of the human race. It is they who have created the glory of the human race today. I believe that when you come to Kwanai number 1 middle school, you must be pursuing the sacred profession of life hunter. I believe that after 3 years in school, you have mastered the theoretical knowledge about life hunters. I believe that from past experience, you have also summarized the methods and rules that are suitable for your own true body awakening. Maybe some people think that 3 years in school is a long time. Maybe some people think it's short. But no matter what, the time has finally come to this moment. Today is the day when you awaken your true form. It's time. Awaken your true body. Become a life hunter. Compete with the gods for your life. Protect the human race. Yongchang. Principal Tang Ji's speech was full of passion, and the students' emotions were quickly ignited, and the passionate shouts and responses spread like fire. Okay, I can feel your determination. I know you're all ready. Principal Tang Ji's eyes were blazing and he announced in a high-pitched voice, everyone, please go to the awakening stage and awaken your true form. This is an exciting time. The excitement among the students is beyond words. Of course, that comes with anticipation and nervousness. As we all know, if you want to become a life hunter, you must first awaken your true body. There are many types of true bodies, countless, and they are divided into 7 major fates according to their cultivation potential. From low to high they are ordinary people, wild men, heroes, generals, kings, and destiny. The higher the awakened true body's destiny, the stronger the life hunter's strength and potential. There is only one chance to awaken. Whatever destiny is awakened is that destiny. It is inevitable that everyone will be nervous about the future of the relationship once it is finalized. Shu Yan was walking forward with the team when he was suddenly tapped on the shoulder. He turned around and found that it was Fei Nan. Fei Nan came from the same town as him. 3 years ago, they were admitted to Kwancheng number 1 middle school together. Fei Nan squeezed over from the team. Shu Yan, I see you don't look good. Are you nervous? If you don't say anything, that's it. My lord, what are you so nervous about? You are the number 1 genius in our number 1 middle school, and your strength lies here. There is absolutely no problem in awakening a high-level hero. I'm not very good at it. Fei Nan is a useless man. No matter how hard he studies, he has no results. His theoretical scores are at the bottom, and his physical fitness test is not at the average level. Basically, he has no choice but to live as an awakened mortal. But I have also figured it out, so what if I awaken to the lowest level of mortal life? Even if I am behind the scenes, I can still contribute my share. So, I'm not nervous. My mentality is very good. I think you should learn from me on this. Shu Yan looked at Fei Nan helplessly. Is it okay to be as tough as a duck? Fei Nan's acting skills are not very good. He tried to pretend to be calm but failed. His obviously trembling body and pale lips had already fully revealed his true inner emotions. Of course Xu Yan also longs to calm down, but achieving this is easier said than done. After 3 years in school, I studied hard, kept up with my theoretical scores, came from behind in the physical test, and finally won first place this year. Why? In order to get the title of double pride? Of course not. All the efforts I have made before are just to awaken a true body with high destiny today. His ambition to compete with the gods and protect the eternal prosperity of the human race may be too lofty. What he wants to do now is just to let his hometown see the light of day again. Thinking of that incident, Xu Yan took a deep breath and clenched his fists involuntarily. His hometown, Shanglong Town, is located 300 miles away from Quancheng. It was once a pleasant seaside town with picturesque scenery, blue sky, blue sea, white sand beach and fishing boats. However, the day after he received the admission notice from Quancheng No. 1 middle school and embarked on the road to study, Shanglong Town disappeared. Disappeared without a trace, as if everything had been wiped off the map. No one knows exactly how the town disappeared. Some people believe that a yellow spring rises from the ground and swallows up the entire Shanglong Town. Some people also believe that the alien races in the heavens invaded the human land under the guise of the road to hell and dragged the entire Shanglong Town into hell. None of it is known. After the subsequent investigation, the only thing that can be determined is that Underworld did appear at that moment, but the duration was extremely short, almost only in the blink of an eye. The Human Life Hunter Organization, Junquan Division, had no time to react. This short-lived Wangquan was later registered as Beluo by the Junquan Division and rated as Taboo Level A. However, due to the fruitless follow-up investigation, the case committed by this underworld was quickly thrown into the depths of the docket. 3 years have passed, and people's memories of Shanglong Town have begun to blur. But Xu Yan didn't dare to forget. Every time I close my eyes, I can think of those years. Back then, he always loved to sit on the stone steps in Shanglong Town, watching the fishing boats docked at the pier, watching the fishermen busy repairing their nets, watching the children next door jumping rubber bands, and his mother sticking her head out of the window and calling her home for dinner. Cartoons always come as scheduled, time becomes very slow, and it feels like everyone will have an infinite future. But the reality is very cruel. The disappearance of Shanglong Town shows that even in the protected area of Junquan Division, the human race will face the unexpected invasion of Wangquan, which will instantly shatter the beautiful things that once existed. There is also something even weirder. Ever since the day Shanglong Town disappeared, Xu Yan's dreams had become twisted and terrifying. Whenever he fell asleep, he would fall into a strange dream, where countless pairs of eerie eyes stared at him with ominous whispers. The sound was like the cries of Shanglong Town, like the ridicule from the alien races in the world on the other side of the underworld, like the ridicule of evil ghosts, and like the curses that could not be shaken off. Very uncomfortable. There may be only one way to break the curse. That is to find blue falling yellow spring, restore the lost moment, and let Shanglong Town see the light of day again. And the question is, only those who have a true body higher than the fate of a hero can have the opportunity to enter the Taboo A level blue falling yellow spring and complete this redemption. This was the most direct reason why he studied hard and wanted to awaken his high destiny. Thinking of his relatives in Shanglong Town, those beautiful pasts, and the whispers in his dreams, Xu Yan's mood became complicated and heavy. It was as if there was an invisible force pushing him, forcing him to force himself to move forward with all his strength. But he also knew that in terms of probability, there was no chance of awakening a destiny higher than that of a hero. And even if you have done a solid job in basic homework, ranked first in theoretical scores, and ranked first in physical fitness tests, all the results achieved can only increase the probability of awakening a high destiny. What kind of true body and destiny to awaken cannot be determined in advance. Only at the moment of true awakening can the final answer be revealed. After years of hard work, just waiting for this moment of awakening, who can truly calm down? With mixed feelings, Xu Yan followed the team forward. Soon we arrived at the awakening stage. On the awakening stage, stood an old man. Seeing this old man, everyone in the audience instantly became cowardly. The old man's appearance was majestic. His eyes are deep and exude an inviolable aura. His name is so famous that it is included in the names of Quancheng. He is the most famous awakening officer in Quancheng. Xu Yan naturally recognized it. If you open the name of Quancheng and turn to the old man's character card, you will see an introduction like this. Name: Ku Sha. Real form: Brick Thrower. Fate: General. Open black lens bracket level 59. Close black lens bracket. Exclusive soul skill: Throwing bricks to attract jade. The horoscopes from lowest to highest are Ordinary, Wild, Hero, Heroic, General, King, and Destiny. The General's destiny is a high-level and rare destiny. Not only in Quan City, but also among the destiny hunters in the entire Shengsha, there are only a handful of them. Usually, the real body of a general will have exclusive soul skills at the general level. The exclusive soul skill of the brick thrower is throwing bricks to attract jade. This soul skill is very unique. In addition to being used in battle, it can also be used in awakening rituals. There is a saying that those who throw bricks can attract jade, and God will help. Close black lens bracket. During the awakening ceremony, offering advice can increase the probability of the awakened person awakening his true form. Close black lens bracket. Throwing bricks to attract jade intuitively explains why Ku Sha became the perfect candidate for Quancheng's awakening officer. It can increase the probability of the awakened person awakening the true form of high destiny. This alone is enough to make Ku Sha's name deeply imprinted in the hearts of every would-be destiny hunter. The most critical step before the awakening ceremony is undoubtedly to attract new ideas. Everyone's eyes are focused on the stage. The magic circle on the stage has been drawn, and there is a mysterious stream of light moving on it. Tang Ji stepped forward and said respectfully to Ku Sha, "Master Ku, I'm sorry to trouble you today." Ku Sha shook his head. "Principal Tang, you don't have to be polite, this is my responsibility." After a few brief greetings with Principal Tang Ji, Ku Sha summoned his true form amidst the great expectations. Roar! With a thunderous roar in the void, a huge humanoid soul appeared behind Ku Sha. The humanoid soul exudes a strong and fierce aura, as if an iron-blooded general who is invincible has descended into the world. The soul's hand was holding a huge brick, and a sense of oppression instantly enveloped the entire place. This is the true identity of the general, the brick thrower. The aura is so strong. Being in front of a powerful and mysterious force, every student can't help but feel a sense of awe. However, before their excitement could completely subside, they saw the brick thrower raising the bricks in his hands and looking intently at the sky above his head. With a low shout from the brick thrower, the bricks suddenly hit the air at an alarming speed. Boom! A loud noise resounded, and along with the shocking roar, everyone's eyes focused on the place where the bricks were. An incredible scene appeared. In the air, the bricks smashed into a black hole. Black holes emit bursts of strange fluctuations, like a portal to an unknown realm. What is even more shocking is that in the black hole, a bright piece of divine jade suddenly flies out, emitting a dazzling aura. The colors in the halo are intertwined, like thousands of stars dancing, which is dazzling. At this moment, everyone's breath seemed to have stagnated. They were deeply attracted by the scene in front of them, and their hearts were filled with infinite wonder. This is just throwing bricks and lining up. The bricks in the hands of the brick thrower are not ordinary bricks. They can break the shackles of fate, attract the help of divine jade, and improve our luck in awakening our true body. This sentence was like a thunderclap, causing a huge commotion in the crowd without any surprise. Please be quiet. The awakening ceremony is about to begin. Now I would like to invite Master Ku to speak. Principal Tang Ji's majestic voice resounded throughout the entire venue, reverberating like a bell. The voice was not loud, but like an invisible force, it gradually calmed down the excitement and noise in people's hearts. Ku Sha glanced at the students in the audience who were about to wake up, with a look of anticipation on his brows. Principal Tang Ji has finished speaking what should be said. I will simply add a few words. The arrival of Huang Quan triggered the emergence of destiny, and the profession of life hunter was born. Since then, the soul power of all the world seems to have been digitized by some mysterious power. After successfully awakening the true body, life hunter can seeing the data attributes of the true body, you can also enter the underworld and lead to the other side. Of course, aliens from all over the world can also awaken their true bodies, enter the underworld, and come to the human world. There is never any quiet time. Only by becoming a more powerful life hunter can we face the malice from the other side of the underworld and meet more challenges. I've finished speaking, so now, please keep some distance, everyone, and go on stage according to the number to awaken your true body. The words fell. A solemn atmosphere filled the air. This is an important moment that determines the life hunter's career. The 3 years of further study in Kwanchang No. 1 Middle School will usher in the final result at this moment. No. 1. Shi Zhang. After the call was called, a boy in the audience stood up and stepped onto the awakening stage with some anxiety. The awakening circle began to operate. The countertop made a buzzing sound, and bright light burst out, all of which penetrated into Shi Zhang's body. Not long after, behind Shi Zhang, a humanoid soul dressed in a metal rock style rose up. The soul body's hands were shaking violently, as if playing a fierce rock music. Everyone was surprised, because this real body resembles the metal rocker in The Name of Fountain City, and the metal rocker is a heroic destiny and possesses extraordinary soul skills. Could it be that the first awakening is the true form of a hero who is unique among all heroes, comparable to a metal rocker? Everyone held their breath, waiting for the answer to be revealed. As the soul body rises, the awakening array reflects Shi Zhang's true body information, like a barrage blooming in the air, allowing everyone to clearly see the results of Shi Zhang's awakening. Real body. Rock intestine maker. Fate. Ordinary. Soul skill. Intestine making with rich intestine making technology and experience. Weakness. Wine and sex. If you want to live longer, stay away from beer and women. This awakening result made the people in the audience burst into laughter. Because this combination is so funny, who can imagine that they are rock and roll, but their skills are bowel controlling, and they also have a weakness for drinking and sex. Shi Zhang's expression couldn't hide his embarrassment. With such a charming person, he originally thought he was a very powerful type, but unexpectedly he turned out to be just an ordinary intestine maker. This is still a blessing of luck because of inspiring ideas, otherwise the result of awakening may be even worse. Shi Zhang smiled bitterly. Ordinary life, soul skills to make intestines, can't be exposed to alcohol and sex, maybe I can only focus on making various intestine foods in the future. The sausage makers are actually pretty good. They mix different underworld materials, wrap them in sausage casings, and then cook and bake them to create meat products that can supplement various attributes for life hunters. They can also play a role in the revitalization of the human race, important role. Awakening Officer Ku Sha's comfort made Shi Zhang feel a lot better. No. 2. Wang Chang. Wang Chang, whose name was called, ran all the way into the awakening circle. It is also a brilliant light. Then a roar from the void. Then behind Wang Chang, a burly humanoid soul gradually appeared. The muscle lines of the soul body are clearly visible, the arms are strong and powerful, the chest is bulging high, and the thick hair is messy and fluttering on the top of the soul body's head, exuding a strong masculine energy. The results come out quickly. Real body. Muscular straight man. Fate. Ordinary. Soul skill. Not hanging down. Seeing this result, Wang Chang nodded with a smile on his face, seeming to be very satisfied with his true form. The men in the audience also cast envious glances. Although he is an ordinary person, his cultivation potential may not be very good, but having the soul skill of not hanging down can make a considerable contribution in some special occasions, especially in terms of population fertility rate. Shao Kahn, Guo Fan. One by one, the students awakened their true forms. The awakening array is shining with colorful light. Most people's awakening results are ordinary people. Although their true bodies are ordinary, they can also bring them some special abilities. Occasionally, a few awaken into the wild, which means they have unique talents. There are also a few awakened heroes, which means that they will have the opportunity to enter the subordinate organizations of Junquan Division in the future. In this awakening ceremony, each awakened true body represents a possibility, and the atmosphere at the scene becomes lively due to the diversity of the true body's destiny and exclusive soul skills. Principal Tang Ji's expression was slightly solemn. Ku Sha stood next to Principal Tang Ji. He could feel the pressure on Principal Tang Ji through Tang Ji's expression. After all, the reputation and strength of a middle school are closely related to the awakened true bodies of the students. Being able to awaken the true bodies of high-level fates is crucial to the reputation and status of the school. The two of them watched the results of the awakening together. Ku Sha frowned slightly and expressed his opinion unabashedly. The awakening results of your number 1 middle school students this year do seem to be a bit ordinary. Hearing Ku Sha's words, Tang Ji sighed. Yes, there is no hero yet. Ku Sha smiled and said, how about heroes? With the resources of your number 1 middle school, it would be great to have a few heroes. There was both ridicule and helplessness in his tone. Tang Ji smiled self-deprecatingly. Yes, in this era, the emergence of heroes has become extremely rare. There are only a few heroes produced in Quan City every year, and they are all cultivated by those aristocratic families who spent great opportunities. In comparison, our Quancheng number 1 middle school is like a small pond with limited resources, so it is indeed a bit extravagant to hope to cultivate top people. He paused for a moment, but there was still a trace of expectation in his tone. However, it is rare for us in this class of Quancheng number 1 middle school to have two very intelligent geniuses. Whether it is academic performance or potential, they are among the best among their peers. The students spontaneously call them the Peerless Twins. Maybe these two students can compete in this awakening ceremony. After hearing this, Ku Sha nodded slightly and said with excitement, I'm starting to look forward to it. The awakening ceremony continues. Next, Gong Qing. Tang Ji's voice sounded again. Under everyone's gaze, a girl came out in response. The girl has a beautiful appearance, with long hair falling like a waterfall. She wears a simple and elegant dress that outlines her slender figure. The silver bracelet inlaid on her wrist emits a faint light, which complements the whiteness of her skin. It was as if she was a goddess descending into the mortal world, making it impossible for all the boys to look away. However, when she was about to set off, the girl suddenly glanced at Xu Yan with a complicated expression. There is indeed some subtle relationship between the two. In schools, this is no secret. Gong Qing and Xu Yan are hailed as the two geniuses of number 1 middle school. Their performance in all aspects is outstanding, and it is difficult for anyone in the school to compare with them. In terms of performance, Gong Qing was originally in the lead, but Xu Yan came from behind and pushed Gong Qing below. This made Gong Qing always have an anger in his heart that refused to admit defeat. Of course, Gong Qing is not unwilling to occupy the second position. Her prejudice against Xu Yan is due to another reason. There was a time when Xu Yan would always approach Gong Qing subtly and create interest in Gong Qing, causing everyone including Gong Qing himself to think that Xu Yan was interested in her. As the two prides of number 1 middle school, they are undoubtedly the highlight of the campus when they are together, and the masses will naturally like to see them. But there are rumors that Xu Yan approached Gong Qing just to obtain her study materials and seek academic benefits. Later, the rumors were confirmed, and public opinion was out of control. Gong Qing's anger and embarrassment were beyond words. The most important thing is that Xu Yan didn't care about the emotional trouble he caused Gong Qing. He seemed to be an outsider and didn't feel sorry at all. This is what makes Gong Qing angry. This is also what makes the people angry. Everyone has witnessed Xu Yan's unscrupulous efforts to obtain various learning opportunities many times. It is understandable that he is motivated, but you have made our school beauty misunderstood and sad. That is unforgivable. Because of this relationship, although Xu Yan is the number 1 academic in number 1 middle school, his reputation has never been very good, and people's evaluations of him tend to be negative. Whoever wins and who loses, only when he awakens can he see the true story. Gong Qing looked away from Xu Yan and walked towards the awakening stage with confidence. On the awakening stage, Ku Sha watched Gong Qing coming towards her and couldn't help but whisper to himself, this girl is interesting. Tang Ji was stunned for a moment. Master Ku, have you noticed it too? Ku Sha nodded. The 5 elements, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, are the 5 elements that create Wangquan. This girl's 5 elements are much stronger than ordinary people, especially the water element, which is 100 times stronger than ordinary people. The power of this single attribute often means that when awakening, you may meet the true form of a general, and you are good at water magic. General. Tang Ji suddenly became energetic. A hero is a high-level and rare destiny. So far this year in Quancheng number 1 middle school, there has not been a real hero with a destiny. How can he be one step ahead of a hero, directly to a general? Can't even think about it. If Gongqing really awakens the true form of the general, then it will be a huge shock not only to the entire number 1 middle school, but even to the entire Quan city. Thinking of this, the expectation in Tang Ji's heart was like a fire. His cheeks instantly flushed with excitement, and his eyes almost involuntarily turned to Gongqing on the awakening stage. Awakening begins. The magic circle is moving and the light is brilliant. Gongqing's elegant figure seems to contain unlimited potential, and a kind of confidence reveals from her every move. 2 huge water balls suddenly appeared around Gongqing, like fireworks blooming. Oh my god! A vision, a vision! The appearance of the vision undoubtedly aroused great excitement in the hearts of everyone. Because the appearance of visions represents the awakening of high-level destiny. Principal Tang Ji also trembled with excitement. Roar! Suddenly, there was a hissing in the void, and a water column shadow gradually emerged from behind Gongqing, and finally condensed into the image of a woman. The soul body was gorgeously dressed, like a fairy descending to earth, exuding an intoxicating fairy spirit, with a halo around her, and water elements surging around her, as if she was inextricably linked to the water. In the eyes of everyone, the identity of the soul body was revealed. Real body. Luoshui Mi Fei. Fate. General. What? The fate of generals. Am I right? Everyone could hardly believe their eyes. Not an ordinary person, not reckless, surpass the hero, skip the hero, go directly to the general. You must know that this has never happened before in the history of Quancheng number 1 middle school. But now it became a reality in front of them. How to believe this is true? The entire scene was slightly silent for a moment because of the shock, and then burst into thunderous cheers. It's true, he's really a general. Wow, Gongqing, you are so powerful. Your true body is actually concubine Luoshui Mi, who was appointed by the general. Concubine Mi of Luoshui is destined to be written into the name book of Quancheng. People's excitement was beyond words, as if they had awakened the general. Amid everyone's cheers and exclamations, the light of the awakening array continued to flicker, and more information emerged. 5 elements. Water. Soul skill. Luahua flowing water. Luahua flowing water. There is a flowing water called Luahua. The name is like poetry, but it contains incomparable silence and terror. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Concubine Luoshui Mi can summon it. Close black lens bracket. It's incredible. The soul skill turns out to be Luahua Liushui. Since this soul skill was so rare, the crowd's voices of surprise surged like a tide, and the entire scene was plunged into a heated discussion about Luahua flowing water. According to legend, the appearance of flowing water in Luahua means some kind of vision, and there is deathly silence wherever it goes. This kind of deathly silence is not a terrifying instantaneous destruction, but a silent murder, like the passage of time, causing life to die unconsciously. It can cause large-scale damage, and it's also very stealthy, which is quite scary. Especially after the level is increased, it will be even more terrifying. The huge demon city on the other side of the world can be wiped out with just an enhanced version of Luahua Liushui. Furthermore, concubine Mi of Luoshui has the 5 elements of water in her destiny. If she finds the secret of fate in the future, she may be able to break through the shackles of the underworld and advance her destiny. Yes, in the future, he may reach the level of king, destiny, or even become a more legendary existence. Everyone became more and more excited as they talked, completely forgetting that it was almost impossible to see the true form of the destiny level. Not to mention Quancheng, it was said that there might not be one in the entire Great Sha 10 years. Seeing this result, Principal Tang Ji's heart was also boiling. Because Gongqing's true awakening is not only her personal victory, but also the pride of the entire school. Even the well-informed awakening officer Ku Sha nodded with satisfaction when he saw this result. What an amazing awakening. Compared to the excited expressions of everyone, Gongqing's face was very calm, as if he was not surprised at all by the outcome of this awakening. Ku Sha stepped forward and said to Gongqing, "Little girl, your real body is very good, but you still have to work hard to get into the Zhengquan division." Gongqing smiled slightly and saluted Ku Sha respectfully. "Thank you, senior, for your encouragement. I will work hard." After walking off the stage, Gongqing was immediately surrounded by a group of classmates. Like stars over the moon, everyone congratulated her. However, Gong Qing's eyes always stayed on Shu Yan. Shu Yan was standing in the square opposite her. His handsome face stood out among the crowd. The harmless temperament he exuded made it easy for people to have a good impression of him. So, hide your ambition under a kind temperament, and then use this method to approach a girl. After getting the learning resources, there is nothing more. Gong Qing suddenly fell into confusion. Just then, a loud voice woke her up from her thoughts. Shu Yan. After hearing his name, Shu Yan raised his feet and walked towards the awakening stage. Gong Qing's eyes were locked tightly on Shu Yan, with strange lights flashing in his eyes. All the students in the audience looked at Shu Yan, with an extremely strong sense of expectation in their eyes. After all, the competition between the two geniuses on campus has already become the focus of the campus. One of them has awakened the general, and the other should not be less generous. Also looking at Shu Yan, who was heading to the awakening stage, Tang Ji asked Ku Sha, "Master Ku, what do you think of this child?" Ku Sha glanced at Shu Yan lightly and replied calmly, "There seems to be nothing special about the balance of the 5 elements." "Why is there nothing special?" Tang Ji couldn't help but remind, "I mentioned before that there are 2 geniuses in our school. Gong Qing just now was the second, and he is the first." "The first genius." Ku Sha suddenly became cautious after hearing this. "If you say that, maybe I made a mistake. I'll check again." As he spoke, he activated his true body and tried to detect it again. Soon, he sighed. "Unfortunately, I still maintain my previous prediction. His talent is indeed not very good." Tang Ji was speechless, but could not refute for the moment. "But to be honest, I'm very curious." Ku Sha paused, looked at Shu Yan, and asked Tang Ji with some confusion, "How do you think he became a genius in Quancheng number 1 middle school with his ordinary qualifications? His grades in school are actually better than that of the girl just now. How should I put it? In fact, this kid comes from..." Tang Ji hesitated and sighed. "Well, this kid works hard, very hard, but he always likes to work hard secretly, and always likes to work hard in a way that ordinary people can't see. The place endures hardships that ordinary people would not dare to imagine, so his grades are always ranked first. He obviously relies on hard work, but people mistakenly think that he relies on talent." Ku Sha nodded with some understanding. There is still a gap between acquired hard work and innate talent. Of course, no matter how good your grades are in school, if the 5 elements are balanced and mediocre, it is really difficult to awaken the true body of a high destiny. You should understand this. Tang Ji naturally understood, so he felt even more sorry for Shu Yan. Working hard can change your destiny. Close black lens bracket. This is the teaching purpose of Quancheng number 1 middle school. He had seen Shu Yan's performance during his 3 years at school. He knew exactly what the kid was thinking. "I want to change my life against the will of heaven. I want to awaken the destiny above the heroes. I want to join the Junquan division. I want to find Beluo Wangquan, and I want Shanglong Town to see the light of day again." This is why Shu Yan works hard, by any means necessary. The more he understood, the more distressed Principal Tang Ji felt. It can't be said that there is no such thing as changing one's fate against the will of nature, but the probability is extremely low. In the field of life hunters, there are indeed things that cannot be accomplished no matter how hard we try. The most disappointing thing is that the awakening officer Ku Sha's predictions are always accurate, without exception. The biggest possibility is that it is reckless. Ku Sha's words seemed to be a ruthless early judgment. Principal Tang Ji sighed unwillingly and kept saying, "What a pity, what a pity." The whole audience is paying attention. Awakening begins. The magic circle was operating, and talisman lights immediately floated out from the awakening stage, continuously penetrating into Shu Yan's body. Everyone in the audience started talking. Putting aside his moral character and personal grievances, Shu Yan is the pride of our number 1 middle school after all. His talent must be very strong, and his awakened true body will definitely not be too low. If Shu Yan can awaken another general, then our status in Quancheng number 1 middle school will skyrocket. If the status of our school is improved, then the resources allocated from above will be tilted. In the future, our younger brothers and sisters will have more prospects in enrolling in number 1 middle school. Yes, even those big families can't do it with 2 generals. As alumni, we will have a bright face when we go out. The atmosphere in the whole place was extremely heated, and there was a lot of discussion, and everyone was looking forward to the result of Shu Yan's awakening. However, Gong Qing's mood was very complicated. Because he violated the family rules, he was sent to this place to study. He never thought that although he had the aura of the Gong family, he could only become Shu Yan's foil in this small Quancheng middle school. On the one hand, she hopes that Shu Yan can awaken the true form of Gao Mingge, because that means that he will have more powerful power and can better resist the threat of Huang Quan. But on the other hand, she didn't really want Shu Yan's awakening destiny to be higher than hers. She wanted to confirm one thing. If she was better than him after awakening, would he still come to her for tutoring as often as when he first entered school? Thinking about it, Gong Qing's ears turned slightly red. Perhaps, this issue is not just about learning. What on earth were you expecting? Amid the hustle and bustle of the awakening ceremony, Gong Qing's heart was also in turmoil. Everyone in the audience almost stopped breathing, their expectant eyes fixed on the young figure on the awakening stage. On the awakening stage, Shu Yan sat cross-legged with his eyes closed. Around his body, bursts of roaring sounds sounded like thunder, and a mysterious energy was gathering. As the roar became more intense, boom, finally, there was an explosion in the void. A dark humanoid soul rose from Shu Yan's back. This soul body has a blurred face and exudes a suppressed energy, like a faceless evil spirit, which makes people feel creepy. At the same time, the awakening results are displayed on the awakening stage. True identity, faceless man. Fate, disabled, special. The true body of a faceless man, with a special destiny, a cripple. Seeing this result, everyone rubbed their eyes, wondering if they had seen it wrong or were hallucinating. As we all know, the conventional horoscopes are divided into ordinary, reckless, hero, general, king, and destiny. The qualifications of each conventional destiny have fixed evaluation standards, and under certain circumstances, they can be promoted to the next level of destiny. For example, Mi Fei of Luoshui, who will be destined to have a destiny, and the 5 elements or water, if she breaks through the Wangquan water tribulation in the future, can be promoted to the king's fate. In addition to the regular horoscopes, there are some horoscopes that are very rare, and the evaluation standards are not unified, and there is no fixed promotion route. They are collectively called special horoscopes. Special destiny is just rare, not necessarily powerful. For example, the disabled fate is a special fate. Not only does it have no cultivation potential, but it is also extremely rare. How rare is it? In the history of the founding of Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, there has never been a student who has awakened to the fate of being disabled. Everyone who has the lowest awakening and the worst fate is an ordinary person. In the entire Quan city, there may only be a few people who have awakened to the crippled fate in history. What is the concept of awakening the true form of the crippled lifestyle? This is equivalent to smashing the sign of Quancheng No. 1 Middle School. I didn't expect that. How come? Turns out to be a cripple. Some people may still understand that the student at the end of the crane has awakened the fate of being disabled, but this person is the unparalleled twin pride of Quancheng No. 1 Middle School. Especially when they saw that Gong Sha, one of the twin prides, had just awakened his destiny as a general, everyone had even greater expectations for Shu Yan's awakening. Everyone's facial expressions were almost frozen, and it was difficult to accept the result of this awakening. Even Gong Qing's face was dull and stunned. Ku Sha and Tang Ji looked at each other with expressions of disbelief on their faces. Never imagined. According to their predictions, although Shu Yan had little hope of awakening the destiny of a hero, he could still win over a reckless hero, and at least he would be an ordinary person. The result was a special disability, which was really an exaggeration. Those Gong Qing's suitors in the school were the first to come to their senses. So funny. I actually awakened to the fate of being disabled. It's really disabled. I originally thought they were 2 prides, but now it seems that Miss Gong Qing will have to shoulder the future of Quancheng. The deep regret aroused everyone's desire to complain, and the whole place immediately exploded. Gong Qing's mood was extremely complicated. According to her fate, her awakening result was indeed better than Shu Yan's, which should have made her happy. However, there was no joy in her heart. She held her breath tightly and stared at the awakening result several times, her eyes gradually becoming firm. How could Shu Yan be just like this? On the awakening stage, Shu Yan was still sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed, not yet waking up from the awakening ceremony. Ku Sha was about to wake him up. At this moment, the awakening circle suddenly started again, and a mysterious energy quickly gathered around Shu Yan. What's going on? Hasn't the awakening been completed? Why is the awakening circle still running? Discussions arose one after another, and everyone was confused. The roar gradually increased. Boom! Finally, a deafening loud noise erupted in the void again. The second humanoid soul rose from Shu Yan's back. This soul is different from the first faceless man. It is wearing a worn-out armor and a frayed helmet. The armor's gloves hold a rusty broken blade. The armor is covered with mottled bloodstains, revealing that there was a sad and bloody smell. However, if you look closely, you will find that this fully armed soul actually has no body. It is like an empty shell wearing a battle armor. There is nothing under the helmet, and there is nothingness inside the armor. Everyone was stunned and couldn't understand what happened for a while. Soon, the awakening results were displayed on the awakening stage. True body, defeated soldier with broken armor. Fate, disabled, special. Everyone was completely confused. Only one true body can be awakened. This is what the textbook says. But now, the rules seem to be broken. How can you awaken two true bodies? This is unscientific. Everyone thought hard to no avail and could only look at Ku Sha, hoping that this knowledgeable awakening officer could give an explanation. After all, this situation is too bizarre and beyond their cognition. Ku Sha explained. It is indeed unreasonable for a person to awaken two true bodies, but my true body, Brick Thrower, can make up for this unreasonableness to a certain extent. Throwing bricks to attract jade will attract divine jade, and the divine jade will assist the disabled person, which means that if the awakened person awakens the true form of the disabled person, there is a certain chance of awakening again. Everyone suddenly realized that this was the case. But if you think about it carefully, you can't help but lament that the probability of Shenyu assisting is actually very low. After finally getting an assist and awakening for the second time, he was still disabled. Shu Yan must have been too embarrassed. Some people wondered. Shu Yan was also disabled when he awakened for the second time, so will Shenyu make another wave of assists and awaken for the third time? Ku Sha shook his head and said resolutely, no, to attract good friends, to assist the cripple, there is only a second chance. No matter what the result of the second awakening is, even if the cripple is still crippled, there is no third chance. Hearing this, everyone's confusion eased slightly, and they looked at the awakening platform with some sympathy. Two crippled real bodies. So has the dust settled? No, this does not appear to be the final result. Because the awakening ritual is still going on. The magic circle is still functioning. Shu Yan is still in the awakening circle and has not opened his eyes until now. At this moment, the two real bodies behind Shu Yan seemed to be guided by invisible guidance, and suddenly approached each other quickly. The speed was unbelievable. What's even more surprising is, the moment the two true bodies collided, a loud noise broke out like the earth was shattering. Boom! Moment. A bloody light shot up into the sky like a gushing flame, spreading at an alarming speed, covering the entire world almost instantly. The originally bright day was instantly dyed blood red. In this terrifying blood red sky, there are constant sounds of war drums, horns, and the shouts and roars of thousands of troops before they die in battle. It is like the arrival of the doomsday battlefield, making the world tremble. Everyone was so frightened by this scene that they were trembling. They were all immersed in fear, and even their breathing almost stopped. What's going on? Even the principal Tang Ji's voice was trembling. Ku Sha was also shocked by this scene. His eyes almost burst out of his sockets. This is a vision. Vision, Tang Ji exclaimed. He has seen countless awakening visions, but he has never seen a vision of this scale in his life. If this is a vision, such a big vision, is there any uncertainty about the child's true identity? Thinking of this, Tang Ji suddenly became excited. Gong Qing, who was standing in the audience, also had hot eyes. Looking at Shu Yan, an indescribable joy filled his heart. Let's just say, you are really not just that. Finally, the terrifying bloody light in the sky dissipated, and everyone's vision gradually became clear. At this moment, a classmate shouted, Look, the two real bodies have merged into one. Everyone looked up and saw that the two crippled real bodies had indeed merged into one. After the terrifying vision passed, the faceless man finally successfully put on the destroyed soldier armor. At this time, they were no longer phantom souls, but merged into an entity of flesh and blood. The entity has no face, but is very large. It is wearing blood-stained armor and holding a 3-meter-long broken blade. It is full of suffocating, terrifying, murderous intent, as if it is the gathering of countless dead, defeated soldiers on the battlefield. He became the most ruthless butcher. Seeing this butcher, everyone could not help but think of a bloody scene. Hell battlefield, dying warriors, mountains of corpses and seas of blood, stumps and broken arms. Although they knew that this was just a fantasy caused by the other person's appearance and temperament, many students were still frightened and backed away. Some students with poor mental strength were so frightened that they fell to the ground. The awakening ceremony is over. The vision disappears. The final awakening result is displayed on the awakening stage. True body, Wanli Cantu. Fate, Return of the Dead, special, peerless, unparalleled. Seeing this result, everyone was stunned for a moment. Faceless man put on destroyed soldier armor and turned into Wanli massacre. Cripple plus cripple, we get it, Return of the Dead. Is this okay? They quickly went through the entire awakening process in their minds, but it was still difficult to understand. It doesn't matter what the real body looks like or what the name is, because the real body is of various kinds and weird, but the destiny has its own system. Whether it is the 7 major fortunes of the conventional system or other special fortunes, they are all recorded in the Book of Names. But they have never heard of the fate of Return of the Dead, and there are no textbooks recording its existence. So how to understand this fate? They couldn't help but look at the description in the fate note: special, peerless, unparalleled. It is not difficult to understand the meaning of these 3 words. Special, it means that Return of the Dead is not included in the promotion of regular fate. Peerless means Return of the Dead. This fate is unprecedented and unprecedented. Wushwang represents the fate of Return of the Dead, and there is only one in the world. Special, peerless, unparalleled, together it means that the fate of Return of the Dead is special among the special, and the only among the unique. Even if Xu Yan dies, there will be no more dead in the whole world in the past and future. Return. After understanding this, everyone was greatly shocked, and the expressions on their faces were extremely wonderful. The chatter became louder. I wonder what the cultivation qualifications of the Return of the Dead fate are like. Can they be comparable to the heroes in the regular fate? The comment about Return of the Dead is that this destiny is unparalleled, which means that this destiny has never appeared in history. Whether its cultivation potential can be compared to the heroes in conventional destiny, it is impossible to guess based on thin air. Let future achievements speak for themselves. To be honest, the vision just now was so terrifying, even more exaggerated than the vision of awakening destiny, so I think this destiny should not be much different. I don't think it's easy to say. Have you noticed that the awakening result just now does not show soul skills? If there is no innate soul skills, then this fate cannot even be compared to ordinary people's recklessness. Everyone said something to each other, and gradually, it entered into a war of words about fate ranking. On the awakening stage, Xu Yan's chest rose and fell slowly. He had thought about the scene of his true body awakening, but he had never thought of such twists and turns. First, he awakened the useless character, Faceless Man. Then he awakened the useless life pattern, defeated soldiers with broken armor. Then the Faceless Man put on the destroyed soldier armor and became Wanli Remnant Slaughter. 2 crippled fates actually merged into one unparalleled one. The peerless real body needs to be studied carefully, but it cannot be here. After all, there are other students who need to awaken at the moment, and he cannot occupy the awakening stage. With this in mind, Xu Yan took a deep breath, reintegrated his true body into the void, and then slowly walked down from the awakening stage. Wait a moment. When passing Ku Sha suddenly called him. Xu Yan turned around and saluted Ku Sha. Senior, what are your orders? Ku Sha slowly spoke. Your true body does not belong to the conventional fate, and it is not even among the special fates recorded in the Book of Names. It is a unique existence, which represents today's appearance. It is also for the only time in history, I was able to witness it with my own eyes, and it was truly an honor. Shu Yan said. Senior, thank you very much. The awakening of this true body is also thanks to the help of Senior, it's my honor. There was an expression of appreciation on Ku Sha's face. So, can you tell me about your soul skills? Shu Yan was stunned for a moment. Ku Sha stared at Shu Yan closely, with a glimmer of conviction in his eyes. Your true body must have a special soul skill, but this soul skill can hide itself and escape the awareness of the awakening magic circle. Shu Yan frowned slightly, trying to understand Ku Sha's words. As if he thought Shu Yan might feel embarrassed, Ku Sha smiled slightly and continued. Of course, hiding soul skills can indeed reserve some unexpected trump cards for future battles. As a life hunter, I can understand. However, according to the regulations of Junquan Division, I need to make more detailed registration regarding Return of the Dead, the only destiny in history. The most intuitive thing is the registration of innate soul skills. It can reflect the cultivation potential of this destiny to a certain extent. If possible, I hope you can tell me. He paused for a moment and added cautiously. No matter what, soul skills have to be used after all, and as a person who has experienced it, maybe I can give you some guidance and suggestions on how to maximize the effect of soul skills. Quote. Faced with Ku Sha's registration request, Shu Yan did not refuse. After all, part of the reason why his peerless true body was able to successfully awaken was due to Ku Sha's inspiring ideas. It's just that Shu Yan has just completed his awakening, and Shu Yan is not yet completely familiar with his true body. He needed to take another look at his data attributes to confirm whether he really had soul skills. A thought, a data panel that only he could see appeared in his field of vision like a pop-up window. Name, Shu Yan, True Body, Wanli Cantu. Fate, Return of the Dead, Special Peerless Unparalleled. Grade 1, Strength, 10, Agility, 10, Spirit, 10, Physique, 10, Talent Soul Skill, Going into Battle. Go into battle. The soul body is not virtual. As an entity, it can fight without the body. The entire panel is very simple, and the four major attributes of the real body are quite balanced, with no advantages or disadvantages. The so-called soul skills are simpler and can be used in battle. Generally speaking, the real body of a life hunter is a phantom soul body. From the actual combat scene, the body of a life hunter is like a wick, and the real body is like an outer flame. The real body cannot leave the body to fight. But his true body is an entity, and he can leave his body and fight on his own, which is quite special. Of course, Shu Yan doesn't know yet whether this particularity has an innate advantage and can allow him to go further. In addition, the destiny of Return of the Dead is a unique and special destiny and is not among the regular destiny. Therefore, can it be compared with the regular, general, destiny cultivation qualification? Can it be upgraded within the prescribed time to break the limit? Shu Yan was not sure about the minimum requirements for entering the A-level underworld. Maybe it would be good to listen to Mr. Ku's assessment as a reference. Skill activates. With a flash of blood, Wanli Cantu appeared. If there is a living body around, kill it or not. Close black lens bracket. This piece of information suddenly popped up in his mind, catching Shu Yan off guard. When he saw Wanli Cantu raising his knife to chop, he quickly ordered Wanli Cantu not to move. The scene just now scared everyone. After all, Wanli Cantu had no face, was covered in blood, and walked with a machete in his hand, which was really scary. Fortunately, it stopped. Shu Yan ignored the screams from the audience, but looked at Ku Sha and said, "Actually, I didn't hide my soul skills." This time Ku Sha was stunned. Shu Yan continued. The fact that he didn't notice my soul skill may not be a problem with the awakening magic circle. Ku Sha was stunned again. Shu Yan continued. Actually, I have already used my innate soul skill just now. Ku Sha's eyes widened and he looked around. Did you use it? Why didn't I notice it? Shu Yan said. It's not that you didn't notice it, but you ignored it. My innate skill is fight. As you can see, my true body can go out and fight on my own. Soul skills. Going into battle. Ku Sha's face froze slightly, and he turned to look at Wanli Cantu, who had already stepped off the stage. After a moment, he nodded in agreement. Maybe it's because this battle is too ordinary, or too natural, so it is easy for people to overlook that it is actually an innate soul skill. Why don't you let the brick thrower see your real body? As he said that, Ku Sha suddenly took a step forward and shouted, "The brick thrower is possessed." Roar! A thunderous roar echoed in the void. Along with this roar, a huge humanoid soul suddenly appeared and attached tightly to Ku Sha's body. It existed like an external flame, releasing a violent aura visibly to the naked eye, and a sense of oppression instantly enveloped the entire place. This is true body possession. Although everyone had seen Ku Sha's performance before, seeing it again now still shocked them. This time, the possession seemed more eye-catching, and the aura was more surging, as if the power between heaven and earth had been gathered together. The only difference is that the brick thrower is not holding the brick at this moment. This is not surprising, because in the previous soul skill effect, the bricks had been thrown into the void, attracting the appearance of the divine jade. There are still some students who need to awaken, so Shenyu is still on the awakening stage. And before the effect of the throwing bricks to attract jade soul skill ends, the bricks will naturally not appear in the hands of the brick thrower. There were other students in the audience waiting for their awakening, but Ku Sha didn't seem to be in a hurry at all. He raised his head and looked at Wanli Cantu, and the brick thrower also moved in sync with him, with a faint twinkle in his eyes. The green light also looked at Wanli Cantu. Wanli Cantu seemed to be very self-aware. Although he had no face or facial features, he could still feel that someone was peering at him. He turned around and raised a warning middle finger towards brick thrower. At the same time, a message popped into Shu Yan's mind. Under the prying eyes of soul magic, I am warning him whether to fight back. Close black lens bracket. With a thought, Shu Yan suppressed Wanli Cantu's desire to fight back. After all, the opponent is a level 59 life hunter, and I am only level 1. How can I fight back? And, more crucially, the peak didn't seem hostile. After Shu Yan's guidance, Wanli Cantu slowly lowered his raised middle finger. Soon the green light in the brick thrower's eyes disappeared, and Ku Sha said, "I didn't expect that after your real body left the main body, you were alert. Not only did you notice my detection technique, but you were also able to react. This is true. It surprised me." After continuing to communicate, Shu Yan finally found the right time to ask his question. "Master Ku, you are well informed, so what do you think the qualifications of my real body are, and how do they compare with heroes and generals?" How does it compare? After Ku Sha thought for a moment, there was a trace of sadness in his eyes. Your true body does not have the unique 5 elements, so even if you can fight outside the body, you cannot output powerful 5 elements soul skills and can only use normal attacks. Of course, it is very irresponsible to use the initial attributes to judge the strength of a new destiny. Ku Sha paused for a moment. I mean, as of now, at least in terms of the attack power output of your innate soul skills, your true body is indeed not as good as the fate of heroes and generals. Shu Yan nodded. The innate soul skills of heroes and generals at the beginning are basically 5-element soul skills, and the power of 5-element soul skills is definitely much more powerful than the ordinary attacks of souls separated from the body. Yes. Ku Sha looked at Shu Yan, wanting to comfort him a few words, but found that the young man's eyes were calm and firm, and he couldn't help but be startled. "Thank you, Senior, for your guidance and advice. However, my fate Return of the Dead is unique and unique. There is no other relevant information for reference. Maybe there will be other variables as the level gets higher." Thinking of what happened in Shanglong Town, Shu Yan only felt a fire in his heart. Anyway, my life will definitely be very hard. Well said. Ku Sha looked at Shu Yan with appreciative eyes. This is exactly what I want to say. The prerequisite for competing with the gods is that you cannot accept your fate. I hope you will work hard and strive to achieve something in the future. Thank you for your encouragement, Senior. Shu Yan saluted Ku Sha again and walked off the stage. Seeing Shu Yan approaching, many students around him unconsciously stepped back and screamed. Fei Nan hid not far away and shouted, his voice trembling, "Shu Yan, can you take your true body back first?" Only then did Shu Yan realize that Wanli Cantu had been following him. He was holding a big sword as if he was going to kill someone at any time, which really scared everyone. After Fei Nan's reminder, he quickly put Wanli Cantu into the void. Seeing that Wanli Cantu was gone, Fei Nan immediately came over. "First of all, I want to congratulate you on awakening your true form and officially starting your career as a life hunter. Secondly, I want to ask a question." Shu Yan was stunned for a moment. What do you want to ask? Fei Nan scratched his head and said, how should I put it? Your real body looks really scary, and the rarity of your new destiny, Return of the Dead, is also unexpected. But without soul skills, everyone would think that the destiny is not even as reckless as ordinary people. So, what I want to ask is, do you have any innate soul skills? Everyone was discussing just now. Fei Nan paused and added, there is no display on the awakening station. Is it true? Shu Yan smiled bitterly and replied, my innate soul skill is fighting. Going to war. Looking at Fei Nan's eyes full of curiosity, Shu Yan sighed helplessly, and then patiently recounted his conversation with Ku Sha again. After hearing this, Fei Nan's expression was very exciting. It's true. I never thought that going to battle is also a soul skill. Next, useless man, Fei Nan. At this moment, Principal Tang Ji called Fei Nan's name. Fei Nan responded and said to Shu Yan in a hurry, I'm going to wake up. Let's talk later. Shu Yan nodded, watched Fei Nan leave, then calmed down and entered his own spiritual world. With his true form, Wanli Cantu, he will be a life hunter from now on. The next task is to quickly upgrade, obtain outstanding achievements, and strive to join the Junquan Division. If you can get more permissions in Junquan Division, you can trace the clues to Beluo Wangquan earlier. And if you find Blue Falling Yellow Spring, I hope Beluo Wangquan can return Shanglong Town completely, and hope that nothing will happen to anyone in the town. If not. Thinking of this, Shu Yan clenched his fist suddenly. Wanli Cantu in the void also raised his broken knife and swung out a terrifying bloody light. Millions of corpses, blood shed for thousands of miles, blood debt must be paid with blood. Shu Yan was startled by his own thoughts. His mood fluctuated so much just now that he almost couldn't control it, and he had an immediate urge to kill. What's going on? He suddenly remembered what the textbook said, that the awakened true body would affect an individual's character to a certain extent. It is not uncommon for some originally gentle people to become cruel, aggressive, and full of bloodthirsty desires after awakening their true form. In order to prevent the character of the mind from being affected, the life hunter can exercise the mental power of the body through the method of entering concentration. The mental power of the main body is different from the mental power of the real body, and is also called willpower. As long as the willpower of the true body is stronger than the mental power of the true body, the mind can be kept unaffected by the true body. After going through the knowledge points in the textbook, Shu Yan roughly guessed the problem. Is the temporary loss of control in my thoughts just now due to low willpower? In order to understand the gap between his willpower and his true body's spiritual power, he checked his attributes again. Calling out the willpower panel. Willpower panel. Open black lens bracket, name close black lens bracket, Shu Yan. Open black lens bracket will close black lens bracket, 10. Real body panel. Open black lens bracket, true body close black lens bracket, Wanli Cantu. Open black lens bracket, grade 1. Open black lens bracket, spirit close black lens bracket, 10. Duplicate information omitted. Will 10. Spirit 10. The values of the main bodies will and the true body's spirit are both 10, which is just right to maintain balance. The main body cannot be upgraded, but the real body can. After upgrading, the mental power of the real body will also increase. If your will is still 10, you will not be able to suppress the real body, which may lead to loss of control. The top priority is to improve willpower. What happens if it gets out of control? In the process of the final awakening of his true body, the picture Shu Yan saw was completely different from the picture seen by others. What he saw was a huge demon god, holding a huge machete. The blade extended out for thousands of miles. With one slash, the mountains and rivers were shattered, millions of corpses were buried, and blood flowed for thousands of miles. Along the way, I met gods and killed gods, met Buddhas and killed Buddhas, killed all the heavens, killed all the underworld, killed until the sky was filled with fog, killed until the bloodlight of the heaven and earth, and killed until the sky was dim and the earth was dark and nothing could be seen. Boom! In the darkness of the sky and the earth, a thunderbolt shook the sky and illuminated everything again. Between heaven and earth, there was only a faceless corpse, a mutilated armor, and a broken sword. The devil has fallen. The scene was so bloody and extremely uncomfortable that Shu Yan didn't want to recall it a second time. I don't know how the demon god fell, but from the clues in the picture, it is not difficult to imagine the relationship between Wanli Cantu and the peerless demon god. The consequences of losing control can be horrific. Therefore, no matter how the growth of Wanli Cantu is, cultivating will must be the first priority, so that your will always be higher than the mental power of the real body to ensure that Wanli Cantu will never lose control. Xu Yan was planning how to arrange his time to cultivate his will more rationally, when the noisy discussions around him interrupted his thoughts. It turned out that Fei Nan's awakening ceremony was over. The results of the awakening are displayed on the awakening stage, which is quite controversial. Open black lens bracket name close black lens bracket, Fei Nan. Real identity canon man. Open black lens bracket 5 elements close black lens bracket, Earth. Fate grassy. Soul skill Earth canon Earth system. Seeing this result, Xu Yan finally knew what the point of controversy was. It's the 5 elements. Generally speaking, only those with a destiny above that of a hero will have the 5 element attributes. If they have the 5 element attributes, they can use the corresponding 5 element soul skills. For example, the 5 elements Earth can be used to perform Earth soul skills. A real body with a reckless destiny actually has the attributes of the 5 elements, and has awakened the Earth soul skill, Earth canon. This kind of low destiny with 5 elements attributes is indeed very rare. There are only a few cases in the history of Quancheng where 5 elements grass has been awakened. Therefore, the sensation caused by this result is naturally not low. You must know that although grass mang and earth grass mang are both grass mang, they are fundamentally different. You can't be promoted if you are reckless, and your destiny has been sealed. Takeomang can be promoted through a special 5 elements ceremony, and climb up step by step from Takeomang to Takeomang to Takeomang, Takeomang, to Kaoji, Takeomang, 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 and Takeomang to generals. Although this opportunity to climb is difficult to obtain, it does not mean that there is no chance. But no matter what, earth and grass has a low life after all. Compared with Gongqing's water general, it is several ranks behind, so the excitement in the field was short-lived. However, Fei Nan was extremely satisfied. He ran back excitedly and hugged Xu Yan. I really didn't expect that. I was already prepared to awaken to my ordinary life, but I didn't expect that it would be Tu Cao Meng who awakened. This wave of blood earning. Xu Yan showed a rare smile and gave Fei Nan a thumbs up. Congratulations. If you can be promoted to Prime Minister, you might be able to enter the Zhenquan division. Promoted from a native to a native general. Fei Nan opened his mouth in shock. Are you thinking too much? Each level of advancement in the 5 elements destiny requires great opportunity. From a rustic to a local hero, some people will spend their whole life trying to cross this level alone, let alone a local hero, or even a local general. Fei Nan patted Xu Yan on the shoulder. I'm a pragmatic person. I don't have diamonds, I don't do porcelain work, and I'm content with the rough country. But if you give me a chance. He changed his words and his tone suddenly became serious. If you really give me a chance, I will definitely seize it. I will never forget the story of Beluo Wangquan. It was rare to see Fei Nan with such a serious expression, so Xu Yan patted his shoulder gently. Don't worry, we will definitely find Beluo Wangquan and ask it to spit out our town intact. The current awakening ceremony of Quancheng No. 1 middle school is finally over. Tang Ji took everyone back to the big classroom. This time, a total of 328 students from Quancheng No. 1 middle school are awakening, among whom Xu Yan has an unparalleled special destiny, Return of the Dead. 1 water general, 0 heroes, 12 heroes, 1 earth and grass, 38 grass and the rest are ordinary people. Not to mention anything else, the mere appearance of a faulty water general was enough to make Quancheng No. 1 middle school famous. Tang Ji smiled from ear to ear and was quite satisfied. Students, the awakening is all over. No matter what kind of true body you have awakened, or what kind of destiny it is, you must work hard to upgrade and improve the strength of the true body. In addition, I would like to emphasize that everyone must not fall behind in the cultivation of willpower, especially those with negative personalities. You must also pay attention to the consequences if you lose control. One last important announcement. Zhenquan Division is in urgent need of new strength and intends to cultivate new life hunting talents. To this end, the new recruit exam will be held in a week. I hope that all students will pay high attention to it. Of course, in order to cooperate with the upcoming Junkwon Division exam, starting tomorrow, our Wonkwon Road Tunnel No 007 in Kwancheong will be open to all students. Students can enter Tunnel No 007 for actual upgrades. This is an excellent opportunity. I hope everyone can make full use of it and prepare for the freshman exam. Chapter 11. Wonkwon Road is a supernatural force that connects countless heavens and human worlds. However, so far, Junkwon Division still knows nothing about the origin and laws of Wonkwon Road. They cannot predict when, where, or how the next Yellow Spring Road will emerge, let alone its power and intensity. The only thing that is clear is that whenever the road to hell appears, life becomes as small as a mayfly. In the history of Kwancheong, Wonkwon Road once appeared in tunnel number 007. The appearance of this underworld brought unprecedented disaster to Kwancheong. In less than a few hours, tens of thousands of lives were annihilated in it. Fortunately, the Tianming Division from Junkwon Division arrived in time, bravely rushed into the underworld, and finally conquered the underworld. Only then did the disaster stop and Kwancheong was spared. Afterwards, this Wonkwon Road was officially registered as Tunnel No. 007. It is worth mentioning that once a netherworld is conquered, it will lose its original power and will be disconnected from the connection port on the other side of the world, turning into a closed netherworld, also known as a copy. In the underworld dungeon, although there are still resurgent underworld monsters, they can no longer escape the shackles of the dungeon. Kwancheong Tunnel No 007 is such a Wonkwon dungeon, and it was once downgraded after being conquered. Now it has become a novice-level trial dungeon. For new life hunters in Kwan City, this is undoubtedly an excellent place to upgrade. The reference material, 007 Tunnel Dungeon Guide, has been sent to you. The guide details the distribution of monsters in Tunnel No 007, as well as your seniors' first experiences in fighting monsters. Most of the monsters inside are between level 1 and level 8, and are rare in number and very low in difficulty. At least it's much safer here than the hunting area outside the city. I won't say much about the rest. You can read the information yourself. After listening to Principal Tang Ji's words, combined with the reference materials in his hand, Xu Yan carefully reviewed them. Based on the practice of the seniors, the priority order is to improve willpower first, then enter the novice trial copy, and then apply to the life hunting area outside the city when it reaches level 10. Junkwon Division's newbie exam is of great significance to every new life hunter. It is the first step towards a higher level of life hunter. You must go all out and not be careless at all. After class, Xu Yan planned to go back to the dormitory to further study his true identity, but was stopped by Gong Qing. Congratulations, you have awakened the special destiny, Return of the Dead. Gong Qing congratulated. Xu Yan was a little surprised. After all his dirty information had been widely circulated on the school network. He didn't expect that Gong Qing would come to congratulate him. In school, Gong Qing's beauty attracted many suitors, so much so that some suitors rumored that he was using Gong Qing to gain academic resources. Later, the rumors became more and more exaggerated, and he was even called a scumbag by public opinion at one time, and was almost to the point of being cyber-violated by the entire school. So much so that Gong Qing's attitude towards him was once quite cold. Xu Yan didn't know how to explain it, and he didn't bother to explain it. If he had that time, he might as well spend it on his studies. Now that his true body has awakened, and he has awakened in a way that no one could have imagined, this may be another way of changing his destiny brought about by hard work. Xu Yan was naturally happy that Gong Qing could take the initiative to talk to him and express congratulations. Thank you, Xu Yan responded sincerely. Don't be too hasty to thank me yet. Gong Qing suddenly changed his face to indifference. Our game is not over yet. Xu Yan was stunned by these sudden words. Looking at your uninformed look, didn't Fei Nan tell you? Xu Yan was even more confused. What did you say? I specifically asked Fei Nan to tell you that today's awakening is a competition between the two of us, to see who has a higher awakened destiny. The one with the lower destiny apologizes to the one with the higher destiny. Gong Qing's tone was filled with emotion. Dissatisfied. He didn't tell you, did he? Shu Yan smiled bitterly and shook his head. He didn't tell me. Gong Qing couldn't help but sneer. That guy is really unreliable. Shu Yan nodded, but then shook his head in confusion. No, I don't understand. Why do we have to compete, and why do we apologize? Is that necessary? Gong Qing said angrily. Of course it is necessary. After you surpassed me in theoretical scores, you turned your head and ignored others. Seeing how unpleasant it was to others, of course you have to apologize to me. Ignore people, Shu Yan said calmly. Okay, it's my fault. I can apologize. I'll apologize now. Gong Qing was unmoved. I don't want your cheap apology. Shu Yan. Gong Qing said. My destiny, Water General, is within the norm, but your destiny, Return of the Dead, is outside the norm. The destiny tracks are different, and the gap in qualifications is difficult to judge. The winner is naturally undecided. Then let's use the results of the Zhengquan Division freshman exam as the new competition. I know you will go all out and apologize to whoever loses. Shu Yan hesitated. He knew Gong Qing's temperament, and it was useless to understand it so clearly. He sighed and asked helplessly, then what apology do you want to give me? Gong Qing said solemnly and cautiously, if you win against me, then you don't need to explain anything. I will apologize for ever questioning the idea that you are a scumbag. Shu Yan was slightly stunned. He actually didn't care what others thought of him. It didn't matter if he thought he was a scumbag. But when he looked at Gong Qing's determined eyes, the girl seemed to be expressing a friendly, or reconciling, intention in this way. All right, Shu Yan returned to the dormitory. This is a single room specially arranged for him by Principal Tang Ji. It is a special care for hardworking geniuses. It is fully equipped with showers and a small kitchen. On one wall of the room, a photo stood out. In the photo, there is Shu Yan and a young and beautiful woman. The photo was taken 3 years ago in Shanglong town. The two of them are smiling beautifully in the bright sunshine. Shu Yan slowly approached the photo and gently brushed away the dust on it with his fingers. His eyes were extremely focused, as if he could travel through the photo and directly touch the smile of the beautiful young woman. I will definitely find Beluo Wangquan and bring you back safe and sound. His voice was low and firm as an oath, and at this moment, he suddenly felt a stinging pain on his forehead. What happened? He quickly walked to the shower room mirror and looked at himself in the mirror. The face of a young man was reflected in the mirror, with delicate features and fair skin, but a sickle-shaped mark suddenly appeared on his forehead, emitting a strange red light. At the same time, a voice came from his mind. Collecting the origins of Return of the Dead, and optimizing skills, please wait. Shu Yan retreated in shock. He was very familiar with this mark on his forehead. It was the birthmark on his forehead before time travel. How could it appear at this time and in this body? Could it be that they were both me before and after time travel? Chaotic thoughts flashed through his mind, mixed with panic and confusion. The next moment, the red light dissipated and the mark disappeared into the skin again. At the same time, a voice without any emotion sounded in his mind. The source of the imprint has been successfully collected. Close black lens bracket. Open the only talent of the time traveler. Return of the dead is you are the dead, the body reproduces the basic attributes of the real body. Shu Yan was stunned for a moment. What did he just hear? Am I the dead? I'm the one who died. It seems to be related to its own attributes. He immediately checked his body panel. Name, Shu Yan, Return of the Dead. Open black lens bracket grade 1. Will 10 plus 10. Strength 10. Agility 10. Open black lens bracket spirit close black lens bracket, 10. Physique 10. What's the situation? The body panel. How does it have a level display and 4-dimensional data? Shu Yan was stunned for a moment. Although after becoming a life hunter, you can see your body panel, but usually, the body panel does not have 4-dimensional attributes, let alone level display. Because the body and the real body are different. The real body can be upgraded, but the body cannot. The life hunter's body cannot be upgraded, nor can it obtain improvements in 4-dimensional attributes through upgrading. Therefore, there is no level display on the body panel, and there are no 4-dimensional attributes. At best, there is only the willpower column. The first time he saw this panel, Shu Yan couldn't quite understand it. He guessed that either the textbook taught it wrong, or he was the special case. Until I noticed that there was a note, Return of the Dead, behind my name column. He was greatly shocked. The dead is me, I am the dead, this is the talent of Return of the Dead. This talent copies the basic attributes of 10,000 Miles of Massacre, even the level. No wonder I feel that my short-sightedness, which I originally had, is gone. And you can see farther. There is also a terrifying power emerging in the body. Properties reproduced. Such talent is enough to make people proud. The real body can be upgraded. Does that mean that my body can also be upgraded? Re-engraving relationship. Does it mean that once 10,000 Miles of Massacre is upgraded, my physical body can also be upgraded, and my attributes can also be improved? If that's the case, then this talent is too strong. It's like having two real bodies with the same attributes. Notice the column of will, 10 plus 10. Shu Yan's eyes suddenly stopped. What does the plus 10 in the brackets at the end mean? To be honest, willpower is not the same as strength. The main body has increased the copied strength by 10 points. Shu Yan can clearly feel the fullness of his strength, but he really can't feel the increase or decrease in willpower. After a while of fumbling, Shu Yan finally figured out what the plus 10 behind the will value meant. It is 10 points of mental power copied from the real body. In fact, it is not difficult to analyze. Because willpower is originally the mental power that belongs exclusively to the main body, and the copied mental power can also be used by the main body. So, will 10 plus 10 means the original mental power plus reproduced mental power. The total added up is 20 points. Don't underestimate the extra 10 points of will. The significance of this to the life hunter may be unimaginable. Just imagine, if your own willpower is superimposed on the mental power of the main body and the mental power of the real body, will it always be higher than the mental power of the real body? Think about it again. What does it mean if your willpower is always higher than your true body's mental power? Doesn't this mean that the real body will never lose control? After thinking about this, Shu Yan was shocked and excited beyond words. The true form never loses control. How awesome is this? As we all know, a life hunter must wait until his willpower is higher than his real body's mental power before he can upgrade his real body, otherwise he will easily lose control. But in most cases, it is difficult for the cultivation of the body's willpower to keep up with the upgrade and increase of the real body's mental power in time. And if the willpower is always stuck at a bottleneck, then the level of the real body can only stay in place for a long time, and you cannot rush to upgrade monsters. This phenomenon, in textbook terms, is called upgrade waiting. But after all, the strength of a life hunter is determined by the level of the real body, not by the willpower of the body. Some people cannot stand the temptation of the powerful strength brought by upgrading their real body, and will ignore their weak willpower and force their real body to upgrade, which will eventually lead to losing control and even committing some crimes. Out-of-control life hunters are usually included in the blacklist of Junquan Division and become wanted targets of Junquan Division. If you understand waiting for upgrades, it is not difficult to understand the meaning of never losing control to the life hunter. Never lose control. This means that the life hunter can race all the way on the road to upgrading his true body without worrying about losing control and being wanted by the Junquan Division. Never lose control. This is something that is enough to make a life hunter, especially a life hunter who has awakened a negative personality, be excited to the point of trembling to the core. Just when Shu Yan was trembling, another reminder sounded in his mind. The origin of fate has been successfully collected. Close black lens bracket. Open destiny talent. Peerless. Peerless. This talent is automatically turned on, takes effect permanently, and cannot be turned off. In Wuxuang mode, all basic attributes of the real body are doubled, and the power of all soul skills of the real body is doubled. The multiplier increases with the level of the real body. It's not surprising that people with special fates have special talents. What makes Shu Yan wonder is why the destiny talent is not displayed when he awakens his true body, but only comes out now. But anyway, it's better to be late than never. Shu Yan was just about to take a closer look at the explanation of his destiny talent, when another reminder in his mind caught him off guard. Ding! Wuxuang mode has been turned on, and the current real body level has been increased. Close black lens bracket. What's the situation? Why was it upgraded? Xu Yan couldn't wait to check the real body panel. True form Wanli Mengtu unparalleled mode. Fate Return of the Dead special peerless unparalleled. Fate Talent unparalleled level 2. Level 2. Strength 50 unparalleled. Agility 50 unparalleled. Spirit 50 unparalleled. Physique 50 unparalleled. Soul Skill Go into Battle unparalleled. The real body automatically turns on the unparalleled mode, currently level 2, with an increase of 2 times. Xu Yan was stunned. Xu Yan has thought that his destiny is not weak. But I never thought that destiny talent could be so strong. To say, strong, is an understatement. Absolutely outrageous. His destiny is unprecedented and his talent is literally unparalleled. As soon as the talent came out, it was directly upgraded on the spot. Real body attributes doubled. The power of soul skills is doubled. And this doubling is not a fixed multiple, but a multiple that increases as the level increases. It can be seen very intuitively from the data panel. Open black lens bracket true body close black lens bracket, Wanli Cantu. Level 1 right pointing arrow 2 right pointing arrow 2 unparalleled mode. Strength 10 right pointing arrow 25 right pointing arrow 50 unparalleled. Agility 10 right pointing arrow 25 right pointing arrow 50 unparalleled. Spirit 10 right pointing arrow 25 right pointing arrow 50 unparalleled. Physique 10 right pointing arrow 25 right pointing arrow 50 unparalleled. Originally, the 4-dimensional attributes at level 1 were all 10. Now that it has been upgraded to level 2, each attribute has increased by 15. When it reaches 25, the unparalleled mode attributes are doubled, reaching a value of 50. If the level reaches level 3, then you can imagine that the attribute increase is 3 times the basic attribute. Basic attributes, the numerical value increased at each level is not fixed. Different fortune levels will definitely result in different numerical improvements. As the unique fate Return of the Dead, Xu Yan could not use other existing fates as a reference to increase its upgrade value, but the talent of this fate allowed him to see his unlimited potential. It not only doubles the basic attributes, but also doubles the power of soul skills. Soul Skill. Go to Battle unparalleled. Originally combat was a normal attack, but now it is a peerless attack. What concept? The base strength of level 2 Wanli Slaughter is 25, so the original normal attack damage is 25. If you activate Wushwang at level 2, double the power is 50, which is 50 damage. However, combat is a soul skill, so you can still continue to be Wushwang. The damage will be doubled based on the original 50 damage, directly to 100, which is already the original 4 times. The basic attributes are doubled, the power of the soul skills is doubled, and the damage bonus caused is undoubtedly exponential and explosive. Xu Yan can no longer accurately describe in words how powerful this talent is. Thinking of the infinite possibilities in the future, he couldn't manage his expression for a while. Totally breathtaking. It really lives up to unparalleled. Suddenly promoted to level 2, Xu Yan clearly felt the changes in his body, as if he was suddenly filled with endless energy and strength. View the main body panel. Name Xu Yan Return of the Dead. Level 2. Will 10 plus 2 5. Strength 25. Agility 25. Open black lens bracket spirit close black lens bracket 25. Physique 25. The main body replicates the basic attributes of the real body. The level and attributes of the real body have been improved, and the main body has also been improved. Then summon the true body and see what Wanli Cantu looks like in the unparalleled state. Xu Yan was thinking about calling out Wanli Cantu when he suddenly noticed that will column and his lips froze. Found a problem. A very serious problem. Body. Will. 10 plus 2 5. True body. Spirit. 50 unparalleled. The main body can only copy the basic attributes of the real body. It cannot activate Wushwang. It will count as 35 points of willpower if it is fully activated. The real body automatically turns on the unparalleled mode, and the energy is doubled directly. It reaches 50, and you have to restore it to the basic model, but it doesn't work. The main body has 35 will points, which is lower than the real body's 50 points of spirit. If we summon Wanli Massacre with such an extreme negative personality now, wouldn't it be out of control? And in the unparalleled mode, the higher the level, the greater the multiplier of attribute improvement. Under the multiplier effect, the mental attribute may be increased to a terrifying level. It's the kind that no matter how hard you try to catch up with your own willpower, I'm afraid I won't be able to catch up. This, doesn't it mean that we will lose control forever? Losing control is tantamount to announcing the end of a life hunter's career. Even if Wanli Cantu has a very strong destiny talent, what's the use if it can't be summoned? Wanli Cantu will not level up unless it is released to fight monsters. If Wanli Cantu is not upgraded, then the main body will be useless. It would be better not to have anything in the first place than to lose it again. I was just immersed in the excitement of never losing control, but I didn't expect to fall into the glacier immediately. It was so uncomfortable. Calm. Since the current willpower is lower than the mental power of Wanli Cantu, instead of complaining and complaining, it is better to enter concentration on the spot and improve the willpower. Thinking like this, Shu Yan closed his eyes and breathed in and out according to his unique rhythm. The method of entering concentration is unified, and every life hunter knows it. Although it is the same theoretical framework, the unique frequency and rhythm vary from person to person. Entering concentration is not affected by fate. The more immersed you are, the better the effect will be. This was not Shu Yan's first time in meditation, but this time, the scene he saw was different from usual. What he saw was not the usual calming light of the stars and the moon, but a faceless corpse in a broken armor. The two stood up unruly among the corpses in the sky, and then turned to each other, running in both directions. What a weird painting style. The moment they met and joined together, blood shot into the sky, the heaven and earth trembled, and a familiar voice sounded in his mind. Open black lens bracket. Born in troubled times, fate is like an ant. Although there are thousands of people, I will go. Close black lens bracket. Who says that a cripple cannot change his destiny against the will of heaven? Nirvana comes back, he is put to death and reborn, the return of the dead is an act of defiance. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Close black lens bracket. Awakening of the heaven-defying hidden talent, absolute will. Absolute will. This talent will ignore the gap between the body's willpower and the real body's mental power, ensuring that the real body will never lose control. Close black lens bracket. Shu Yan opened his eyes suddenly. A heaven-defying hidden talent. Absolute will. So full circle, never lose control, is back. He tried hard to control his emotions, fearing that something might change again next moment. After a long time, Shu Yan confirmed the final panel. Ontology, Shu Yan. The only talent, return of the dead, the body replicates the basic attributes of the real body. Hidden talent, absolute will, the real body will never lose control. Level 2. Strength 25. Agility 25. Open black lens bracket. Spirit close black lens bracket, 25. Physique 25. Will 10 plus 2 5. Comma. True form Wanli Mengtu unparalleled mode. Fate return of the dead special peerless unparalleled. Fate talent unparalleled level 2 basic attributes and soul skill power doubled, current 2 times. Level 2. Strength 50 unparalleled. Agility 50 unparalleled. Spirit 50 unparalleled. Physique 50 unparalleled. Soul skill go into battle unparalleled. Comma. With the death-free gold medal of absolute will, the true body will never lose control, Shu Yan boldly summoned Wanli Massacre. A little bigger. The smell of blood is also stronger. Can't tell clearly, but he seems to be better behaved. As long as Shu Yan looked at him, Wanli Chengtu immediately reported to the third dimension through his mind. Height, 3.527 meters. Weight, 370 pounds. Knife length, 3.2 meters. Other. The out-of-control problem is solved. The talents and soul skills are also quite bluffing. Now we're just waiting for actual combat. Tomorrow's number. 007 Wangquan Road, I'm really looking forward to it. Shu Yan recalled Wanli Cantu into the void and prepared to review tomorrow's dungeon strategy. Doo-doo. Suddenly the video doorbell of the dormitory rang. Who is this late at night? He walked to the door and pressed the answer button on the doorbell. Principal Tang's face appeared on the screen. Shu Yan, can you come out for a moment? Principal Tang's voice came through the intercom. Shu Yan was a little surprised. Why did Principal Tang come to see him so late at night? Of course, Principal Tang, I'll be out right away. He put on his coat and left the dormitory. Principal Tang stood at the end of the corridor. I came here specifically to talk to you tonight because I want to talk to you alone about recruiting new people in Junquan Division. Xu Yan showed a puzzled expression. Wasn't it already discussed in the classroom about recruiting new members of the Junquan Division? As if he guessed what Xu Yan was thinking, Tang Ji smiled and said, I didn't say everything I said before. Some things don't need to be known to everyone before the dust settles. After all, there is a saying that things come true when they are kept secret. Words are used to vent defeat. Xu Yan thoughtfully said, so the matter you want to tell me now, Principal, has been settled. Tang Ji looked at him with a funny look on his face. Let's get out of the way first. Tell me, how much do you know about Junquan Division's recruitment? Xu Yan said. Junquan Division recruits new people every year, either into the subordinate department Junquan Division Rear Defense Department or into the Junquan Division Preparatory Academy. Of course, can the new life hunters be recruited? Recruitment depends on the results of the college entrance examination. Generally speaking, the score line of preparatory college is much higher than that of Defense Department, but if you fail to pass the major exam, you can only go to a local university. Local universities do not belong to the official establishment of the Junquan Division and cannot obtain relevant upgrade resources provided by the government. This is what I know about recruitment, but if you, Principal Tang, want to know more details, I can expand on it. Tang Ji nodded. Okay, I made it very clear, but what I want to emphasize more is that although the life hunter admitted to the Junquan Division will indeed have a resource bias, he will also have to bear the responsibility of Junquan. There are related obligations, but not all life hunters want to bear this obligation. At this point, Tang Ji's tone suddenly became solemn. So what do you think? Are you firm enough about entering Junquan Division? Firm, Xu Yan thought for a while and said, my idea is actually very simple. I always thought before, if more responsible and capable life hunters went to Junquan, there might be fewer people like Shanglong, to prevent such a tragedy. As you, the principal, often say, there is no such thing as quiet time, it's just that some people are carrying a heavy load and moving forward. Taking a step back, how many people can really survive alone in the underworld? So, what made me determined was not to enter the officialdom, but to be Junquan, but that's what the Junquan Division does. Of course, entering the Junquan Division can control more power. This is not only responsible for oneself, but also to better meet the challenges from Wangquan. I believe every human life hunter thinks so. Well said. Tang Ji looked at Xu Yan, his eyes shining with encouragement and recognition. Determination and motivation come from inner determination. This is exactly the quality that an excellent life hunter should possess. I really saw you right. Okay, now I can tell you about that. He paused and said, someone recommended you to Junquan Division Hunting God Pavilion. Hunting God Pavilion. Xu Yan thought he heard wrongly. Yes, Hunting God Pavilion. Tang Ji showed an expression that was just as I expected. Restrain yourself, don't be so excited. It's hard for Xu Yan not to be excited. Hunting God Pavilion can be said to be the highest palace that new life hunters can enter. To be precise, the Hunting God Pavilion is also an official department, under the direct jurisdiction of the Junquan Division headquarters, and is responsible for handling highly confidential, dangerous and mysterious tasks in the underworld. However, this department generally does not recruit new people. If new people are recruited, then only recruiting the new king of life hunters is very difficult, and candidates cannot apply independently and need to be recommended by experts. This recommendation is not just based on casual connections. The recommender needs meritorious service at the level of an admiral. Needless to say, Principal Tang Ji will definitely not be able to reach that level of meritorious service. He must be looking for someone, but I don't know who he is looking for, but Principal Tang has always been very wild. In addition to the recommender needing a huge amount of merit, the conditions of the recommended person must also meet the standards. The person being recommended must be at least a hero or above, and must have special soul skills. Of course, even with these conditions, there is no guarantee that the recommendation will be successful. Even if you are successfully recommended, you will have to take a subsequent martial arts exam, and the martial arts exam is much more difficult than an ordinary major exam. You must know that since the establishment of Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, no student has been successfully recommended, let alone pass the Hunting God Pavilion. Unexpectedly, the principal came to him late at night to tell him that he had been recommended. Very unexpected. But will this recommendation be successful? If you look at the history of number 1 middle school, you will know that there were several extremely outstanding students who were recommended, but the letters of recommendation were all returned one by one, and they were not even qualified to take the exam. But this time, your letter of recommendation was not returned. It's unbelievable. Tang Ji's eyes were bright and he was excited. This time, we really succeeded. Your awakening ceremony is really eye-opening, especially the special destiny, which has never been seen before in history and contains extraordinary potential. This also allows you to qualify for the Hunting God Pavilion exam. Principal Tang Ji became more and more excited as he spoke. In a city like Kwanai, it is a very honorable thing for a student to be admitted to the official Rear Defense Department or Preparatory Academy. It is even more important for our Kwanchung number 1 middle school. That's true, and if we can get into the higher level Junquan Division Hunting God Pavilion, then our number 1 high school ranking will be completely blown up, and we will definitely make history. I have seen your hard work in the past 3 years. I have always had high expectations for you. Principal Tang Ji took a breath and said, "What I want to tell you is that this opportunity is hard won. Since you have successfully obtained the qualification for the Hunting God Pavilion exam, you must go all out. The big exam will begin in a week. Levels, it's not good to be too low, so every day from now on, you have to focus on upgrading." Xu Yan nodded. "I will work hard." The two had another exchange on the topic of how to upgrade quickly. Before leaving, Tang Ji said meaningfully, "There is one more thing I must remind you. If your awakened true body is a negative personality, you cannot blindly. If you want to upgrade rashly, you have to make sure your willpower keeps up. Although upgrading is great, you can't be greedy for too much, you have to understand this." Xu Yan nodded. "Understood. I've finished my words. I'll download the Underworld dungeon tomorrow and have a good rest tonight." After obtaining the qualification for the Hunting God Pavilion exam, Xu Yan felt confident. "When I returned to the dormitory, I looked at the clock and it showed 11 p.m. He set the alarm clock and then began to meditate. Early the next morning, Xu Yan woke up on time. At the same time, a reminder sounded in my mind. Open black lens bracket, ding, close black lens bracket. Will +1. After a night of meditation, my willpower increased by 1 point. Seeing this result, Xu Yan nodded with satisfaction. In the past 10 years, my willpower was only 10 points in total, but now I can increase it by 1 point after entering meditation, which is already very good. Sure enough, as the textbook said, after awakening his true form, the cultivation of the will of the life hunter can be considered the real beginning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Xu Yan got on the school bus on time. The car drove slowly towards the location of the trial copy Tunnel No. 007. Everyone who was born and raised in Kwanai knows about Tunnel 007. If their children are naughty and stay awake at night, their parents will scare them with the strange stories in Tunnel 007. The strange stories are not imaginary. The disaster monster that once emerged from the entrance of Tunnel 007 is indeed an indelible fear among the people of Kwanai. What was once the tallest building in the city center was broken in half, and a huge ship was stuck on the top of the building like a skewer. Many scenes preserved in the city can still clearly restore the seriousness of the disaster at that time. The area where Tunnel No. 007 is located was originally a bustling city center, but since Wangquan appeared from the tunnel and caused disaster 20 years ago, causing tens of thousands of casualties, the area where the tunnel is located has become an area that people are afraid to set foot in. Forbidden land. And the city center has undergone tremendous changes as a result. Nowadays, this area has become more of a gathering place for newcomers to Kwanchung life hunters. When Xu Yan arrived at the tunnel entrance, he found that it was already overcrowded. The students gathered at the entrance of the tunnel, some were communicating with each other, and some were preparing nervously. They were wearing various school uniforms, and their faces revealed their own anxiety and expectations. It can be seen from the school uniforms that it is not just the students of Kwanchung No. 1 middle school who come to the novice copy. Kwanai City is a huge city with 12 middle schools. The total number of students who awakened the day before was more than 1,800, but most of them were ordinary people. Some of them did not even have corresponding soul skills, and some of them only had life skills, such as intestine maker and non-vertical man. Only less than 500 students were lucky enough to be qualified to enter the trial copy, which accounted for less than one-third of the total. This ratio undoubtedly highlights the cruel nature of fate screening. At this time, the students were standing together, and the teachers were assisting them in going through the admission procedures. On the other side, several principals gathered together and chatted animatedly. Old Tang, your Kwanchung number 1 middle school has completely stolen the show this time. Yes, Principal Tang Ji nodded in agreement. Our students at Kwanchung number 1 middle school are indeed outstanding. Another principal joked. Look at your ability, you were just waiting for us to praise you, right? Everyone laughed for a while, then became serious again, and the conversation got deeper and deeper. In Kwanchung, a city of life hunters, there are many choices, but each one is related to the future path of a young life hunter. However, fate has already decided many things invisibly. For example, some students are not even qualified for the novice trial, so they can only go to local universities. Some students struggle to win, so they have no choice but to take the exam for Junquan Division's Rear Defense Department. And the preparatory court of Junquan Division is prepared for geniuses. As for the Hunting God Pavilion, there's no need to even think about it. Even geniuses can't do it. But Old Tang, I really didn't expect that you actually knocked on the door of the Hunting God Pavilion yesterday, and it turned out to be successful. You got 2 exam spots in the Hunting God Pavilion, and there were 2 at once. This is the first time in Kwanchung's history that there are double quotas. If you can really pass the exam, it will be a great achievement for Kwanchung. One of the principals also looked at Tang Ji. It goes without saying that your Kwanchung number 1 middle school has awakened a Shui Zhongxiang. The little girl's name is Gong Cheng. Now she has become a popular fried chicken in Kwanchung. Apart from Gong Cheng, who has the other spot? Tang Ji looked proud and said, there is another student who has awakened the only fate in history, named Xu Yan. Oh, it turned out to be that student. Maybe it was because of his rare fate, so the Hunting God Pavilion thought of giving him a chance. But Old Tang, are you sure that the student named Xu Yan can pass the Hunting God Pavilion martial arts exam smoothly? Everyone knows that the selection of the Hunting God Pavilion is very strict. Even if someone with such strong qualifications as Water General is admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion, it may not be safe. Return of the Dead is just a rare fate, which does not mean that the strength and qualifications are powerful. Tang Ji interrupted him, but you can't conclude that he is not strong. Return of the Dead is the only destiny in history. Junquan Division has no record of this destiny. Whether you are strong or not depends on your success and record. I believe in my students. Another principal joined in and analyzed. If you want to be admitted to Junquan Division, you must first meet the grade requirements. In 1 week, if you reach level 8, you can basically be recommended to the Junquan Division Defense Department. In 1 week, you will be promoted to level 9, and entering the Junquan Division Preparatory Academy will be considered a sure shot. And in 1 week, reaching level 16, I dare not think about it, but it is only the minimum requirement for sprinting to Junquan Division Hunting God Pavilion. Of course, in addition to this level requirement, there are other more demanding conditions. It's not that I don't believe in your students, it's that the big exam of the Hunting God Pavilion is so difficult that it's even harder to reach the sky. Tang Ji didn't explain anything more, but just made the final decision. Anyway, let's wait and see. Tunnel No. 007 looks like an abandoned tunnel on the surface, but there is something going on inside. The entrance of the tunnel is like an illusory copy of the door, and the door curtain is like a water curtain with rippling water patterns and shimmering light, covering up the truth inside, like a portal to a mysterious world. Standing outside the dungeon gate, Fei Nan poked Xu Yan, do you want to form a team together? Xu Yan shook his head without even thinking about it. Fei Nan said angrily, you brat, are you looking down on me? I'm a very popular person because of my rough fate. The possessed soul skill is a cannon. Cannons can attack you from a distance. I can attack you from a distance. Do you know how rare it is? Let's understand. It's me who takes you flying and lets you get into the car. How many people want this opportunity, but I won't take them with you. Why don't you just shake your head? Xu Yan ignored him. Within 2 seconds, Fei Nan couldn't stand it anymore. With a sad face, he said aggrievedly, "Oh my god, why don't you team up with me? I'm just a rustic, so I'm not that unbearable, right?" Fei Nan cried sadly. Shu Yan tried to wake him up. "You know, everyone has a limit on the number of times they can download a copy, right?" Fei Nan nodded. "Yes, I understand." Shu Yan had a smile on his face. "So, Tunnel No 007, this novice-level copy of Wonkwon, can only be used by newcomers once, right?" Fei Nan frowned. "Yes, just once." Shu Yan continued. "So, if the two of us form a team, the speed of killing monsters will certainly increase, but the two of us need to share the experience equally, which means that the total experience gained will be reduced and the upgrade speed will be slower, right?" After hearing this, Fei Nan's eyes widened. "Oh, so that's what you think. I treat you as a brother, but you are not even willing to share your experience with me." Shu Yan smiled jokingly. "Yes, it's just because I couldn't bear to part with you that I didn't team up with you." "Come on, you're calling it arrogance. Is this a matter of experience and experience?" Fei Nan felt a tightness in his chest and said, "Of course I know that leveling in a team is slow and that it's faster to level up alone, but the premise of doing it alone is that one person has to be able to do it alone. Everyone wants to do it alone, but is it possible?" Fei Nan became more and more angry as he spoke. "There are no more newcomers in Quancheng than one hand who can clear this copy alone. Their soul skills are long-range attacks and have 5 elements attributes. Your soul skills do not have 5 elements, and your true body is a normal attack. Why are you thinking about going solo?" He continued. "It's not that I don't think highly of you, but it's really bad to advance rashly. Besides, even if you upgrade quickly, it's of no use if your own willpower can't keep up. You are a top student. What does waiting for upgrade mean? I don't need to explain it to you anymore." He took out the guide from his pocket, opened it and showed it in front of Shu Yan, and said even louder, "Even the guide says that it is obviously the safest way to form a team to enter the dungeon." Listening to Fei Nan's output, Shu Yan nodded very understandingly. "I know all this." Fei Nan's eyes widened. "Since you know everything, why are you still thinking about doing it alone?" Shu Yan explained calmly. "Old Tang recommended me to the Hunting God Pavilion. According to the martial arts test requirements of the Hunting God Pavilion, I have to be promoted to level 16 at least in a week. I made a detailed plan last night. If I don't choose to clear this dungeon alone, then there is no chance of reaching level 16 in 1 week. What kind of pavilion are you hunting?" "The God of Hunting." Fei Nan didn't react for a moment, and when he did, his voice was trembling. "Did I hear you right? You, the God of Hunting Pavilion. You are going to take the exam of the God of Hunting Pavilion. Have you got a place in the martial arts exam?" "Hush." Shu Yan made a silent gesture, then nodded. "This opportunity is rare. Reaching level 16 in 1 week is the minimum mandatory requirement for taking the Hunter God Pavilion exam. Currently, choosing to clear the trial dungeon alone is the first step in my upgrade plan. This step must be completed beautifully, otherwise my subsequent upgrade plan will not be able to proceed in an orderly manner. To put it simply, you can only do it alone, there is no other choice." After listening to Shu Yan's explanation, Fei Nan could understand a little, but he stared at Shu Yan and still expressed his worries. "But it is very dangerous to choose to do it alone." Shu Yan waved his hand with an indifferent look on his face. "Wealth can only be found in danger." After he finished speaking, he walked towards the copy silently, leaving only Fei Nan's handsome back. Fei Nan's heart trembled. He understands Shu Yan's temper. Once this guy makes up his mind, he won't be able to pull back 10 cows. But he still tried to persuade him, chasing after him and shouting, "What kind of wealth can you gain in danger? Many of those who hold this idea are dead. Upgrading is not as fast as possible. Many of those who only care about upgrading quickly have lost control. Those who lose control are very miserable. People are not like humans and ghosts are not like ghosts. They can only become wanted criminals in Junquan Division. Hey, Shu Yan, I think you should think twice. Your Wanli Cantu looks like a negative personality. We are just saying that we focus on safety." Shu Yan's figure passed through the tunnel entrance, and Fei Nan's roaring voice behind him could no longer be heard. Fei Nan's loud voice naturally attracted the attention of the surrounding students. When they learned that some people chose to play alone and walked towards the dungeon without hesitation, they didn't have admiration on their faces, but felt ridiculous. Look at that kid, don't you think you're so awesome? Just refresh the newbie dungeon, and you really can see if you're that good without peeing in your pants. That's right. Others form teams to improve efficiency, but it's better for him to insist on being a lone hero. What a lone hero. This is belittling the fate of the hero. He is nothing but stupid. He is just pretending. It's not just a way of pretending, it would be a pity to die in there. The more they talked, the worse they got. Fei Nan couldn't bear it anymore and yelled, "What are you talking about? Who are you calling a fool? Who are you saying is going to die in there? It's better to shut your stinking mouth now, otherwise, don't blame me for being stupid. Canon is not polite to you." Seeing Fei Nan's hysteria, everyone opened their mouths. Are you crazy? Didn't you say it first? Fei Nan. After taking a deep breath, Fei Nan said word by word, I say it's okay, you say no. I'll go, you've gone too far. Under the persuasion of the disciplinary team, a conflict was about to break out but was suppressed. However, Fei Nan's name spread among the students. This guy's true identity must be a negative personality. There is a high risk of losing control. Don't provoke him easily. Close black lens bracket. Apart from this small episode, the dungeon is still lively. Come on, 9th middle school students, look here. My soul skill is a long-range attack type. 100 gold coins are required to get in the car. There is no life limit. I will take you flying. Come on. The team is missing one of 4. We need Sao Mang. Sao Mang awakens the restorative soul skill. Don't disturb others. We still need a human shield. Come here if you have high physical attributes. Come quickly. The moment he passed through the dungeon door, a voice sounded in Shu Yan's mind. Single entry. Trial level Wonkwon copy Tunnel No 007 has been reset. Trial time available. 24 hours. Wish you good luck. Buzz. I just feel like my eyes are blurred. Gravity returns. Still seems to be in the tunnel. An old-fashioned xenon lamp is hung on the curved dome of the tunnel, emitting a faint orange halo, barely illuminating the concave and convex tunnel walls. This is the underworld dungeon. 007 tunnel. Roar. At this moment, a deafening beast roar came from the entrance of the tunnel ahead, sending shivers down Shu Yan's spine. Shu Yan looked intently and saw that the tunnel entrance in front seemed to lead to an unknown wasteland, and in that wasteland, a scary goat-headed monster was wandering at the entrance of the tunnel and tried to enter, but was blocked by a powerful force. Blocked from the exit. Shu Yan was stunned for a moment, and suddenly remembered the novice protected area mentioned in the guide. The role of the novice protection zone is to provide a safe area for novices to adapt to this unfamiliar environment. Otherwise, they will be attacked by monsters as soon as they enter the site, and the novices may be overly frightened and burp. Obviously, this tunnel belongs to the novice protection zone, and Eureka monsters cannot enter. Outside the tunnel entrance is the real battlefield. Newcomers have plenty of time to prepare mentally before stepping out of the tunnel. This is Shu Yan's first time entering the underworld dungeon, and it is full of novelty. The Wonkwon copy is the Wonkwon Road after being sealed. Theoretically speaking, it no longer has the same power as the original. It is unclear where Wonkwon Road came from in the first place, but there must be an explanation, so the textbook compiler came up with the concept of Quantai. It is said that Wonkwon Road comes from Quantai. Although the concept of Quantai is a little vague, it is a fact that the disaster brought by the underworld comes to the world. It is also a fact that some aliens from the heavens will come to the human world along the road to hell and cause greater damage. The underworld phenomenon has brought about changes in the laws of heaven and earth. Many chemical elements on the periodic table of elements have become invalid. Thermal weapons cannot exert their intended effects. Even the nuclear bomb, the ultimate weapon, has become scrap metal. Many technologies have also been declared obsolete. Human technology. It is also true that civilization has encountered unprecedented challenges. Fortunately, when fate came, the first batch of awakened life hunters stepped forward resolutely. Together, they founded the organization, Junquan Division, and were determined to seal the underworld. Because only in this way can human order be restored and the world saved from disaster. There are different methods for sealing different underworlds, but the general principle is to go to the bottom of the underworld, close the gate of life, and cut off its connection with the Quantai. After Wonkwon was sealed, it became more like a small world isolated from the heavens and the human world, forming a special realm, somewhat similar to the dungeon set in the game. There is residual spring energy in the dungeon, and this energy will materialize into various monsters. And these monsters will also appear as the dungeon is reset again, and then become a steady source of experience for the life hunter. However, there is a limit to the number of times a life hunter can enter a dungeon. Different copies have different times. For the novice level trial copy of Kwanchung Tunnel No. 007, each newcomer can only enter it once. And zooming in across the country, almost every important city has a novice copy. Thinking about the tribulations of the underworld that humans have suffered in the past is terrifying, but the feats of the life hunters of past generations in sealing the underworld are also praiseworthy. The knowledge points in the textbook were quickly reviewed in my mind. You don't need any mental preparation to kill monsters. Just follow the strategy you made last night and you're done. Shu Yan summoned Wanli Cantu. Although Wanli Cantu has no face, he immediately noticed the monster at the entrance of the tunnel as soon as he appeared. A piece of information feedback jumped out in front of Shu Yan's eyes like a barrage. Monster. Goathead. Level 2. Open black lens bracket strength. 30 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spirit. 15 close black lens bracket. Agility. 8. Physique. 26. It's true. Although the monsters in the first part of the novice copy are of low level, their attributes are far ahead of ordinary people. If I don't open Wushwang, my strength and physique will not be inferior to this goat-headed monster. If a newcomer with a low-level destiny, if we don't form a team and come down, we might not even be able to take down a mob. The levels of the monsters in the later stages of the dungeon will increase. After I activate Unparalleled, the attributes are only 50. The difference is not particularly big. If faced with a siege, it may be difficult to withstand. So we can't move forward rashly now. We need to level up in the early stages first. After upgrading, the improvement of your attributes will be doubled. After doubling, the huge attribute gap will be revealed. When the time comes, push all the way, kill gods when meeting gods, kill Buddha when meeting Buddhas, see who can still stop. Shu Yan had a smile on his face. First develop obscenely. Go to battle, Shu Yan ordered. After saying that, Wanli Cantu rushed out of the tunnel with his knife in hand. The sheep-headed monster has 8 points of agility and cannot avoid the 50-point agility knife speed of Wanli Slaughter. With 50 points of unparalleled power, and superimposed with the unparalleled mode soul skill attack, the damage of a normal sword directly reaches 100. The sword flashed. Next moment, the sheep's head fell to the ground. Instant kill. Successfully kill the sheep-headed monster, experience plus 20. Data strips flashed before his eyes, and then a familiar voice sounded in Shu Yan's mind. Kill the underworld monster and activate the soul skill, Soul Eater. Close black lens bracket. Soul Eater. Even after the dead return, they also need 3 meals a day. The underworld's evil soul is the most suitable food for the dead. This soul skill is a passive skill. After killing the evil monster, it can automatically absorb its soul. Note: this soul skill belongs to the body soul skill, but under the Peerless talent, killing evil monsters with the real body can also trigger this passive soul skill. Activate soul skills. Soul Eating, native soul skill. And it's still passive. Listening to the sound echoing in his ears, Shu Yan was stunned for a moment, and suddenly felt his forehead was a little hot, so he stretched out his hand to scratch it. This feels so familiar, it should be the birthmark of the death scythe that has resurfaced. And just as his forehead became hot, the body of the goat-headed monster on the ground disappeared, turning into a ghost shadow of a soul invisible to outsiders, pouring into the void. After that, the birthmark disappeared into the skin, and the burning feeling on my forehead disappeared. What happened? Before Shu Yan had time to regain his composure, an emotionless voice echoed in his ears again. After sucking, recover the soul energy, plus 20. This. Suddenly, what is the energy of dead souls? Shu Yan was confused at this moment. There is no information about the life hunter in the textbooks, but there is no mention of this setting, and the prompt sound from the void has no other explanation for this revenant energy. In addition, it is said that he has sucked the souls of the dead, but he has not. Feeling of fullness. It seems that I won't be able to understand it through research for a while, so let's get some experience first. Xu Yanqiang suppressed his turbulent mood. He glanced at the experience bar. Current level 2. Current experience 20. Experience required for the next level 2370. Open black lens bracket 22,370 close black lens bracket. A level 2 monster can bring 20 experience points, so when the real body reaches level 3, it will have to kill 118 level 2 monsters. Xu Yan no longer hesitated and ordered Wanli Cantu to continue his bloody performance. Successfully kill the sheep-headed monster, experience plus 20. Successfully sucked the soul of the sheep-headed monster, recovered soul energy plus 20. Successfully kill the sheep-headed monster, experience plus 20. Successfully sucked the soul of the sheep-headed monster, recovered soul energy plus 20. Prompts appeared continuously, and Wanli Cantu kept finding the goat-headed monster and killing it. In just a few minutes, Xu Yan's experience has increased by 10%. This efficiency is too high. It is worth mentioning that, except for the burning pain in my forehead when I drank the soul for the first time, I had no special reaction every time I smoked it, which has become the norm. Thousands of miles of carnage arose, and the killings got farther and farther away. Suddenly, where Xu Yan was, a colorful fox monster jumped out. Since activating his natal soul skill, soul eating, Xu Yan can see information about the underworld monster. Monster. Huali monster. Open black lens bracket grade 1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket strength, 15 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spirit, 10 close black lens bracket. Agility, 30. Physique, 9. Obviously, this raccoon monster was very lucky and was missed by Wanli Cantu. Although it was at level 1, its 30 points of agility showed its extraordinary speed. Seeing Wanli Cantu killing wildly in the distance, Xu Yan was also eager to try his own combat power. After all, although he could not activate Wushuang, he could at least reproduce Wanli Cantu's basic attributes, and his strength was there. All 4 dimensions it was 25. Although his speed was a little slower than that of the Huatong monster, he was not afraid at all. Then let's practice with you, Xu Yan said. The first level flower monster also thinks so. The evil monsters in Wangquan basically attack indiscriminately when they see the new life in the dungeon, and this level 1 Huali monster is no exception. When they saw Xu Yan, they immediately pounced on him. Do you think I'm a soft persimmon? It's funny. Xu Yan punched. His strength is 10 points more than that of the Huden. Although it is not much more, everyone is at a low level anyway, so the extra 10 points of strength is still a big advantage. However, the agility was lost to the Huali monster by 5 points, and the speed could not keep up, so the fight turned into a stalemate for a while. On one side is the crazy output of Wanli Zantu, and the experience value and soul recovery energy are rising rapidly. On the other side, Xu Yan and Huali monster were fighting inextricably. It wasn't until half an hour later that Xu Yan finally took care of the Huali monster. Kill level 1 flower monster, experience plus 10. From the battle with the civet cat, Xu Yan had a strong sense of what it means to be fast in martial arts. If he hadn't used Sun Tzu's art of war to retreat in order to advance, he might have really overturned. In addition, physical strength is a good thing. Just from fighting the level 1 flower monster, he was already exhausted and panting and in desperate need of rest. It can be seen that if you want to clear the dungeon quickly, you must not only have strong strength, but also have long-lasting physical strength. The tireless, 10,000 miles of massacre, that was still performing crazily in the distance was now shining in Xu Yan's eyes. The efficiency of 10,000 miles of killing is too high. This efficiency is not only about the speed of killing monsters, but also about its durability. Ordinary life hunters need to possess their true body to fight. If the true body is tired, then the true body will also be tired. At this time, it needs to rest and recover. But Wanli Cantu doesn't have to. Wanli Cantu can fight apart from the body. No rest and recovery is required at all. He never gets tired. As long as Wanli Cantu is still alive and has not been beaten to the ground, he can continue to act forever. Such a tireless labor force, such a never-ending fighting machine, is simply too radiant. After fighting the level 1 flower monster, Xu Yan finally understood. He could obviously fight with his true body, so why did he need to rely on stubborn physical combat? He is a hard-working talent and knows to work hard in the right direction, so he can't be too far away from Wanli Cantu now. If a highly agile flower monster jumps out again, he will have to rely on his unrecovered physical strength. Wouldn't that make you blind? Thinking like this, he followed Wanli Cantu with peace of mind. Watching 10,000 miles of massacre non-stop, killing one monster after another. Watch the data frame continuously pop up with experience and soul energy. The corners of Xu Yan's lips curled up in an uncontrollable way. I guess no one can kill monsters as easily as him. Successfully kill the Dark Hound, experience plus 20. Successfully suck the soul of the Dark Hound, recovered soul energy plus 20. Successfully kill the Bull Demon, experience plus 20. Successfully suck the dead soul of the Bull Demon, recovered soul energy plus 20. Regarding the data that kept popping up in front of him, Xu Yan was a little excited at first, but gradually he began to feel bored, and even became a little sleepy. Just as he yawned, a bloody beam of light rushed out from Wanli Cantu. Hey, upgraded. Xu Yan couldn't wait to check the upgraded property panel. Open black lens bracket name close black lens bracket, Xu Yan. Peerless talent Return of the Dead reproduce the basic attributes of the real body. Hidden talent Absolute will the real body will never lose control. Level 3. Will 11 plus 4 1. Open black lens bracket Strength close black lens bracket, 41. Agility 41. Open black lens bracket Spirit close black lens bracket, 41. Physique 41. Native soul skill Soul eating passive skill, indiscriminately absorbing the energy of dead souls. Recovering soul energy 2370. Comma. Open black lens bracket True body close black lens bracket, Wanli Cantu. Fate Return of the Dead Special Peerless Unparalleled. Fate Talent Unparalleled Level 3 Basic attributes and soul skill power are doubled by 3 times. Level 3. Strength 123, 3 times unparalleled. Agility 123, 3 times unparalleled. Spirit 123, 3 times unparalleled. Physique 123, 3 times unparalleled. Soul skill Go into battle 3x unparalleled attack, 3x strength attribute, damage up to 369. Comma. Real body 3D. Height 3.95 meters. Weight 470 pounds. Broken knife 3.4 meters. Open black lens bracket Other close black lens bracket. Comma. The level increases and the attributes increase. Upgrading from level 2 to level 3, a single basic attribute increased by 16. The total 4-dimensional attributes increased by a total of 64 points. It is worth mentioning that the 4-dimensional attributes of oneself increase evenly, but most life hunters are biased. For example, the improvement of the real body as a human shield may be more likely to be physical fitness. As a mage with 5-element soul skill output, the improvement may be more spiritual. But no matter what, if the total attributes at a single level are increased by more than 60, even if you don't activate Wushwang, your own body will not lose to those reckless heroes just in terms of the increase in basic attributes. Now that the basic agility has been increased to 41, even if you use the main body to directly attack the flower monster, you won't be blinded anymore. At this time, the Peerless talent has also been upgraded to level 3, and the real body's 4-dimensional attributes have tripled the basic attributes, reaching 123. What's even more exaggerated is the battle soul skill of Wanli Cantu. Its attack power is 3 times the basic power. One strike is directly 369. According to the 007 Tunnel Dungeon Single Brushing Guide, the attack power reaches 250, which can be pushed across this novice dungeon without any difference, not to mention that Wanli Cantu is now 369 with just one general slash. It just exploded. As the level increased to level 3, Wanli Cantu also grew a little taller and stronger, gained 100 kilograms in weight, and the broken knife was 20 centimeters longer than before. The only confusion is, what is recovering soul energy? What does this 2,370 points of soul energy represent and what is its use? With this question, Xu Yan tried to communicate with the voice in his head. Finally the voice answered, who has never died since ancient times. All will be good. It is my destiny that my talents will be useful. I will come back after all my gold has been spent. I will go to a waterless place and sit down to watch the clouds rise. Shu Yan, come on, let's look at how much experience it takes to get to the next level. Current level, 3. Experience required for the next level, 4,510. 4,510. Tunnel No 007 is a novice copy. The monsters in it are ordinary monsters, ranging from level 1 to level 8. After opening 3x Unparalleled, Wanli Cantu's attributes are already comparable to those at level 8. The soul skills in battle tripled and tripled again, it was even more ridiculously powerful. It is conceivable that as long as Wanli Massacre kills fast enough and does not face the dilemma of being besieged, it is almost invincible in the novice copy. 123's agility and speed are so fast, it's like there is wind under your feet. Push all the way. The knife falls from the hand. Level 3 monster, 1 knife. A level 4 monster is also a sword. A level 5 monster is still a sword. Empirical data pops out like winning a lottery ticket. Kill level 3 wolf corpse, experience plus 30. Suck the souls of wolf corpses and recycle soul energy plus 30. Kill level 4 bull demon, experience plus 40. Suck the dead souls of the bull demon and recycle the soul energy plus 40. Kill level 5 yellow wind monster, experience plus 50. Suck the dead soul of the yellow wind monster, recover the energy of the dead soul plus 50. It's still the familiar formula, it's still the familiar taste. Wanli Cantu seems to be the emotionless butcher here, killing gods when meeting gods, killing Buddhas when meeting Buddhas, tirelessly and without rest, killing until the living beings are reduced to ashes and the heaven and earth are bloody. Until the sky is dark and the earth is dark. Boom, upgrade, boom, upgrade again, boom, upgrade and upgrade. In less than a few hours since entering the dungeon, 700 monsters have been killed, and a total of 24,830 experience points have been gained, with each monster contributing an average of 39 experience points. 10,000 miles of killing, soared to level 6, the basic attributes increased sharply, and then opened 6 times the unparalleled, combat soul skill attack increased by 6 times, only 4 characters are the same as the current Wanli of killing. Fear, terror, 2, pull, name, Shu Yan, level 6. Strength 95, agility 95, spirit 95, physique 95, will 11 plus 95. Recovering soul energy 27,200. Duplicate information omitted, comma, open black lens bracket true body close black lens bracket, Wanli Cantu. Level 6, strength 570, 6 times unparalleled. Agility 570, 6 times unparalleled. Spirit 570, 6 times unparalleled. Physique 570, 6 times unparalleled. Soul skill go into battle, 6 times unparalleled attack, 6 times strength attribute, damage up to 3,420. Duplicate information omitted, comma, real body 3-dimensional. Height, 4.25 meters. Weight, 660 pounds. Broken knife, 3.8 meters. Open black lens bracket other, close black lens bracket, comma. The previous level 3 had a strength attribute of 123. With one strike, the strength is tripled to 369. Now level 6 has a strength attribute of 570. With one strike, the strength is 6 times unparalleled, which is 3,420. Too fierce. This increase was so drastic that Shu Yan almost knelt down and sang, "Conquer." Invincible. So invincible. At least in this novice copy, it is absolutely invincible. But Shu Yan now faces a problem. No more weird. The guide says that you can get a total of 28,000 experience points by clearing this dungeon alone. Now you have only gained 27,200 points. There are still 800 experience points that have not been gained. By the way, where are the remaining monsters hiding? He looked at the experience bar again. Current level, 6. Experience required for the next level, 19,780. Open black lens bracket 19,780 close black lens bracket. It seems that the remaining 800 is not enough to upgrade to the next level. Shu Yan frowned, still confused. The guide says that this dungeon can be upgraded to level 5 at most. Even if someone eats up all 28,000 experience points, it will still be level 5. So why am I level 6? I remember that when I awakened my unparalleled talent, I was directly promoted to level 2, so. Does it mean that if I go first, I will be level 2, and with the same total experience, I will always be one level higher than others? Shu Yan rubbed his chin. Although he was not completely sure, the possibility was very high. If this is the case, then this advantage is too great. If you are one level ahead, how much experience can you save? Just to upgrade from level 6 to level 7 requires 19,780 experience points. The higher the level, the more experience is definitely required. According to a study published in Life Hunter Top magazine, the experience required to upgrade from level 99 to level 100 is even more than the total experience accumulated from level 1 to level 99. The exaggerated data obtained from this study very intuitively reflects the huge advantages of innate level 2. Although it was still far away from level 100, Shu Yan was still excited for a while when he thought about this possibility. Don't underestimate the little innate level 2. In the later stage, the experience advantage is quite explosive. This is an unexpected discovery, a big surprise. Shu Yan took a deep breath and controlled his excitement that was about to explode. After calming down, he began to study whether to get the last 800 experience points. The previous fastest record to level 5 was 23 hours. It only took me less than 8 hours, and it was still level 6. 6 hours of it were spent looking for monsters. Now I'm looking all over the world for the last 800 experience, but it doesn't seem to be cost effective. All the monsters are almost killed. Only by resetting the dungeon and entering the dungeon again will the monsters be refreshed. However, newcomers can only enter this dungeon once. Can you go out now? After all, my first move was level 2. Now I am level 6. But would it be too ostentatious if I just go out like this? How about, let's get the last 800 experience points as well. No matter how small a mosquito's legs are, they are still meat. Outside the dungeon, several principals and gentlemen started chatting and comparing again. They gathered around a table, made tea, and talked shamelessly. I wonder how many levels these little kids this year will be able to reach on the first day. Who still remembers what level the previous record was? I remember that I just brushed level 5 and almost killed all the monsters, but that was an absolute genius, one that comes out every 20 years. It comes out every 20 years, right? It's been exactly 20 years since the tunnel copy of number 007 was sealed. In the history of this dungeon, there is only one person who has cleared it in one go. Who else? Isn't it Lao Qin? Qin Fang, Mr. Qin, a genius who has emerged from Quancheng in 20 years, is now a high-ranking official in the Guanzhong war zone of Zhengquan Division, and you dare to call him Lao Qin. Can you please stop being so fake? Lao Qin can't bear to be polite. Speaking of my brothers who lived in our lower bunk back then, Lao Qin's popularity in Quan City is unparalleled. That's true, but I think this record may be broken. Well, this year's Gong Qing is amazing. Maybe he can really break the record. Her true form, Luoshui Mi Fei, can summon Luahua flowing water. This Luahua flowing water moistens things silently and kills invisible people. It cannot be covered. What's even more exaggerated is that this true body is gentle, with a gentle nature, which makes it difficult for her to lose control. It can greatly reduce the requirements on the body's wool, so there is no need to upgrade and wait. Back then, Lao Qin's 23-hour solo grind was actually spent on waiting for upgrades. Yes, I am also optimistic that she can break Lao Qin's record. Shu Yan, wandering around in the copy. Where is the last 800 experience? You won't spawn elite monsters, right? Compared with ordinary monsters, the attributes of elite monsters have been greatly improved, and their sanity is also relatively high. Some will even hide in secret to carry out sneak attacks, making it difficult for people to guard against them. Shu Yan really hoped that he could spawn an elite monster to add a bit of challenge to his boring and numb process of killing monsters. Although the chance of spawning elite monsters in the novice copy is extremely low. But it's not like nothing. The guide mentioned 2 cases of elite monsters spawning in tunnel copy number 007. 19 years ago, General Qin Fang was playing a single dungeon and encountered level 8 elite monsters. 8 years ago, a team of 3 heroes also encountered an elite monster. Elite monsters have only appeared twice in 20 years. How can I have a greater chance of spawning elite monsters? Xu Yan quickly went through the information in the strategy in his head. The guide describes these two cases in detail, and also summarizes some similarities between the two, that is, the two groups of newcomers who have encountered elite monsters, whether they are in a team or alone, their average life is hero and above. Based on this point, the 007 Tunnel Dungeon Guide specifically states in red font, please choose your team members carefully when forming a team, and control the average life of the team members. It is best not to exceed the average life of the hero. Naturally, the newcomers in Quancheng scoffed at this reminder. Because heroes have become increasingly difficult to appear in the past 10 years. It is difficult for Quancheng to produce a hero every year, so how can it be possible to form a team with average heroes? That is to say, Gongqing, who has a general fate, needs to pay attention to it. Form a ordinary or grass and lower the average fate to prevent elite monsters. In fact, Xu Yan was confused when he saw the big red text reminder on the strategy at first. It stands to reason that those with a destiny of hero or above are the elite among the elite of human life hunters. They should also be able to fight against the elites among the evil monsters. The strategy should not be so afraid of special reminders. Until I turned to the last page of Gong Lu, it dawned on him. That page contained the following information. There is only one elite monster that can be spawned in tunnel number 007, Hellvine Dog. Close black lens bracket. Hellvine Dog is not only a unique evil monster in the number 007 tunnel dungeon, but also the strongest existence recognized among all novice dungeons in Zhongmen province, and is posthumously rated as a hidden elite boss. When Qin Fang was a novice, he fought with Hellvine Gulu for 3 hours before he won. He was seriously injured and had a broken finger. The 3-person heroic team in the novice period faced the Hellvine Dog, and all members were killed. It became the biggest accident in the loss of geniuses in Quan City that year. Hellvine Dog's mouth will bloom, when flowers bloom, they will kill animals. These are the last words left by the 3 heroic team. Cautious reminder. Please be careful when forming a team, pay attention to your fate, and avoid the Hellvine Dog. The description of the Hellvine Dog is quite deceiving. If the regular fate is higher than hero, there is a chance of spawning the Hellvine Dog. But my destiny, Return of the Dead, is a special destiny and is not among the regular high destiny. I wonder if there is a chance to get it. Well, although I don't belong to the conventional high-level destiny, my destiny is unprecedented and unprecedented. I am the only one. I guess it is not bad. The Hellvine Dog should be able to give me some face. Xu Yan said to himself. According to the conversion ratio provided in the strategy, the experience of killing a level 8 ordinary monster is 80. The experience gained from killing elite monsters is doubled to 400. And killing the elite monster boss is doubled 10 times, that is 800 experience. Combined with another information from the strategy, just clear the tunnel copy of No 007, clear all monsters, and the full experience is 28,000. And now the total experience accumulated by brushing the dungeon is 27,200. Just short of these 800. I can't find the rest of the monsters on the map. Maybe. Xu Yan vaguely felt that the Hellvine Dog should have spawned. The remaining 800 experience should be with the elite monster boss, Hellvine Dog. To be conservative, you can just issue a copy now to avoid a head-on confrontation with Hellvine Dog. After all, that guy was the one who killed all the super luxurious lineup of the 3 heroes. But Xu Yan decided to meet for a while. 10,000 miles of killing, I haven't met an opponent yet. It's just boring and tedious slashing, just like a machine in a factory that works step by step. It always needs a little stimulation. Without a sense of crisis, it will be difficult to have the motivation to upgrade our strength. But after searching seriously for another half an hour, Xu Yan still found nothing. What's going on? Was that guy so frightened by the machete of Wanli Cantu that he didn't even dare to show his head? He sighed resignedly. Come on, it's not an option to continue searching like this. It's not worth wasting time here just for the 800 experience, so let's go out. Soon, Shu Yan returned to the tunnel entrance. Go through this tunnel to get a copy. Just before he was about to enter the entrance of the tunnel, the ground beneath his feet suddenly broke open, and a twisted vine like a dragon burst out of the ground, growing wildly and wrapping around his ankle like a tentacle. What's the situation? Did it appear? Shu Yan's heart trembled. I searched countless times for him, but it turned out that guy was waiting for me at the entrance of the tunnel, cutting off my only way out. It's quite scheming. Shu Yan cursed secretly in his heart. He could clearly feel how powerful this monster was. After all, he had reached level 6, and his agility was 95 points. He couldn't avoid this plot at the first time. After all, the main body also has 95 points of strength. He tried to break free violently, but he failed. It must be an elite monster. Bang! Wanli Cantu, the 3-meter-long machete arrived in time and cut off the vine with a pop. Shu Yan fell to the ground and took a big breath. Thinking of the experience just now, he couldn't help but feel scared. The body that had just been entangled actually felt numb, and there was also a feeling as if the blood was being drained away. Fortunately, Wanli Cantu's knife was enough in time, otherwise he would become a mummy. Woof. Moo. The severed vine actually grew back, revealing an old dog's face and making a sound similar to the barking of a dog and a cow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.